Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 LAS Summer Playoffs. I am so excited to be here tonight. We are about to kick things off with the Dragons taking on the Phantoms. This is our Academy night, but of course, welcoming to the bench, the one and only Bartowski. How are you doing tonight, Bartowski? Are you as pumped as I am?
I am fully pumped up. I am ready to go. I am ready to get into this action, get these playoffs started with one of the greatest games from one of the greatest teams of Academy history.
I'm so fired up for this. A couple of massive teams here. Dragons just showing up huge this split. But why don't we go ahead and look and get to meet some of our players that we've got to see all throughout the entire split. So let's get this going in a couple seconds for you guys. We're going to bring something up special, something we've been working on. So let's head on over and introduce our Academy team. It's going to be High Reef up in that top lane, XL's in the jungle, Axrid in the mid lane, that Axe Diff there, Juanito Soul down in the ADC position, and Nairo as the support.
Yeah, some exciting players for that team. We got a lot of great players. You got the Active, like you mentioned, always a great shower for every game. But Juanito Sol and Nairo really coming in under the radar with some exceptional KDAs and always performing well in every game. Really looking forward to seeing this entire team play it out. Obviously can't ignore either that top lane or that jungler who always manage to make things happen and have some good games, always the steady games, never quite the show off, but always there when you count on them.
And why don't we head on over to our team on the red side? That's going to be our Phantoms Academy. Up in the top lane, Autism. In the jungle, Given32. Then we have Belunky in the mid lane. Brave Carcass there in the ADC position. Of course, Nubs for life in the support lane. In the support position. My apologies.
Has a whole lane to himself. Another couple of great players here. We got especially Given has been a strong contender for one of the best junglers. Got some great night steals throughout his career, but also just a great player in general. Autism kind of newer to this team, but still a very good player on this. And you know, just some general great positions coming in here. Brave Carcass is one to watch out for as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams play out. Hopefully, Autism is being subbed tonight, apparently, for Obelisk. I see.
Oh, he is. Okay, so we will get that reflected in the pick and ban there. Obelisk up in the top lane. But yeah.
All right, Obelisk.
Couple of big names here, a couple of big teams. Of course, Dragons have just been on a huge winning spree recently. I believe it was the game that they dropped last week. Was it last week they got
the Dragons? Yeah, the Dragons they dropped a couple of games last week.
But still, an 8-2-2 record. There's only one other team like that, and that's in the Premier League, the Sharks. And there's just not enough praises that we can give to a team that has just been just clearing through the regular season split, but it's playoffs now. Anything can happen. You know, it's such a different mentality going into a series of best of fives. Really, we're gonna have to see what happens as it all unfolds on the Rift. But before we get into the pick and ban, just a couple of things to remember. Head on over to LAS_Esports on Instagram to check out our giveaway. We're going to be giving away $20 in RP pricing for the first place draw, and picking out apparently a little quiet. Thank you, chat, and thank you, Bartowski. And giving away $10 in LP for our second place winner. So make sure to head on over to our Instagram to check that out and see all the details on how to enter. And of course, you may have heard a little remix of Rise early on in the introduction. Big shout out to Young Scar, or King Scar in Twitch there, who's just been providing us with tons and tons of music throughout the stream throughout the year. So big thank you over there. I think we're good to go. I think we are ready to go. So let's get into the pick and ban and see what these teams are going to be bringing out for game number 1.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. We'll have to see what each team decides they want to ban. A lot of strong bans in general at this point in time. We're likely to see Varus get banned. He's a pretty much pick or ban champion at this point in time. We'll have to see if Axraid gets any bans thrown his way. I imagine he will. Um, he's had a lot of strong games on a lot of different champions. Most notably has been some of his Vagar games. We'll have to see. I mean, that's obviously not necessarily a champion who's always in meta or always one who wants to be targeted, but he is known for that champion in general, and we've got some of the bans coming out right off the bat. Yuumi, despite the nerfs, still managing to retain that popularity and that high impact in this game. And we'll see Echo, Shyvana, and Master Yi as the other three bans so far. Shyvana, another common ban. Her AP scalings are just so large right now that it's just not worth dealing with it. Yes, you can shut her down, but at some point or another, she will get back up and start to take over that game. So definitely a good ban to throw towards the direction of the Phantoms. Caitlyn being hovered as that last one.
And you know, a lot of poke there, but it looks like the Ornn's going to go, and that's directed right at Obelisk. He's shown to be a big Ornn player up in that top lane, can really scale up and become a terrifying threat in the late game, but we see Aphelios join the bench as well, too. Another very strong pick in this patch. Can be devastating depending on what guns are brought into certain team fights.
Yeah, Aphelios received some nerfs, but they didn't really seem to hit him too hard, so that's good. He managed to dodge the majority, which is, you know, you like to see that. You want to see nerfs not really send a champion to absolutely dog garbage levels of play, but he is still definitely in contention. Karma though is picked up on the side of the Dragons, which is obviously could be a flex. It can either go to the support, the mid, or the top. There's a lot of positions that champion can fill. Ooh, but we'll see Olaf and Jhin locked in for the Phantoms.
Two extremely strong champions, and you know that Olaf is just such a terror. You know, charging those squishier members down. Even though they pick up the Leona and do have the Karma with her leash, his ultimate is just, you know, enables him to run through, and even the Varus ult as well too. Doesn't mean Varus is not going to be scary with that poke damage.
Now, I like this. So the Dragons locked in that Karma, and Phantoms felt comfortable picking an immobile AD carry, rather, like Jhin. And instantly they say, okay, Karma's going somewhere else. We're locking in the Leona. We're locking in the Varus. You're not going to have a fun time in this lane. Varus can outpoke the Jhin, and Leona is able to lock him down for such a long period of time that it should be possible for Varus to just completely all in him and destroy him, even with the Senna sitting there healing him and dealing out a bit of extra damage. Will be on the closer side of things. I expect the Dragons to fall behind in health bars early due to that Senna pick, but as soon as, you know, that level 2 power spike and that level 6 power spike come in, my goodness, the Dragons are going to be going forward at all times.
I mean, you look at it too, you have two massive ults on the side of the Phantoms, right? The Jhin and the Senna. Senna being a global as well. But when it comes to that level 6, the Leona Varus dive is just going to be so brutal for the Phantoms to deal with. You get a Leona going and locking down that Jhin, follow up with a Varus ult. Where is he going?
Yeah, so Leona and Varus are very duelist heavy, whereas Jhin and Senna, their ultimates are more for team fight and objective control. So in the laning phase, I expect to see the Dragons really getting far ahead, and they need to push that advantage. Obviously, Leona and Varus still very good in those team fights, but those ultimates, the power spikes, they're going to be different for both teams. Running through those bans real quick, we see Urgot and Maokai targeted at the Obelisk, and Graves Syndra targeted at Excels and Axrid respectively. Obviously, still unknown where that Karma is going. Ooh.
Oh, I like that. I really like the Zed. So we get to see a bit of skill and prowess come out. You know, it really depends on how you play the Zed and all the little bamboozles that you can do with this Shadow, but that is going to be really fun to watch that in the mid lane.
Yeah, Zed is he's a very high role champion. You know, you either see him do exceptionally well or exceptionally poorly. I expect that this game might fall somewhere a little bit more in the middle, as you would expect most organized play too. You don't really have as high role of positions and champions, but we will see Pantheon locked in. Now that could be jungle, or it could be a counter to that Zed in mid. Pantheon is quite strong as a melee bruiser. If he's not going to be pressured by an AP champion, he can kind of pop off, and so we do see Nunu. Still unknown whether Pantheon Karma is going mid or top, so I am interested in finding out where those are going to be filling, but Mordekaiser is the last locked-in champion for the side of the Phantoms, Nunu on the side of the Dragons, and we have our team comps for our first game of this series.
This is going to be explosive from the Dragons. As soon as they hit 6, they're flying in. That Pantheon is going to just initiate so many team fights for these guys. And the amount of follow-up that can come from behind with the Leona, with the Karma, with the Nunu, who's going to be flying in with the giant snowball. It's just... I don't know what you do. You do have the Olaf ult to, avoid getting CC'd to death. But the Phantoms are going to have to play smart around this engage that the Dragons have as soon as that 6 comes around for the Dragons. So let's head on over to the client and just confirm where champions are actually going. But yeah, two pretty big team comps here we're seeing in game number 1.
Yeah, and I really like the combination of Nunu Karma. That's a very strong duo. Whether it be in the top or the mid, we'll again find out soon enough. But just the speed up onto Nunu as he's casting that snowball, it just gives such a large burst of speed that you don't expect it, because Nunu's ramp up is usually very long and slow and predictable and telegraphed. But you throw that Karma shield on him, especially with the mantra, and suddenly he's zooming at you at 100 miles an hour, and there's nowhere to go.
Straight to
Lock
the
it
gray
down
screen
with
is where to
Varus
go.
and Leona. Oh my goodness. So Karma will be in the top lane with High Reef, and it will be the Pantheon in that mid lane against the Zed. That is the matchup I would have expected, especially after that Mordekaiser got locked in. I don't think you want to really consider dueling that Mordekaiser as a Pantheon. He will likely out-sustain you and be able to out-trade you. Zed, however, will have a slightly rougher time against Pantheon. So some nice flex picks coming in from the Dragons to make sure that they get some optimal laning. And I really like what they've done so far in this champion select, and so should transition into a pretty decent early and mid game for them.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm just thinking about is the Zed ult onto Pantheon, right? It's going to be really a lot tougher than, say, a Burst Mage to, take him down in one shot. He has his shield as well, too, which will block the shurikens coming from the Zed. So a lot of ways to actually avoid that poke and just sustain, like you were saying.
So I expect here, so from High Reef, he's going to likely go for the support Karma build. He's got 2 carries on his team that are able to dish out ridiculous amounts of early game damage, so you kind of want to go for an early power spike from that Karma. You get those support items, particularly the Athene's Unholy Grail, and then he's going to be looking to clear his wave as quickly as possible and kind of roam around the map and make plays elsewhere. I expect to see some early control for the Dragons, both the Dragons team and the actual objective itself, some early control across the river in general, and probably a decent amount of mid lane pressure coming out from Excels and High Reef, trying to get Axrid ahead and make sure that that Pantheon hits his power spike as early as possible.
The team fight on the Dragons right now just looks so damn strong. Individually, if the Phantoms are able to pick off members of the Dragons, if they get those 2v1 situations, I think that's kind of the route they want to go. Get that Olaf snowballing early in that early game. Get them ganking nice and early to make sure that these members of the Dragons, especially that Pantheon, we got to watch Axrid in the mid lane. Because, we see him play these champions that sometimes you don't expect in the mid lane, or he's just able to pop off sometimes. So they might be focusing down this Pantheon to make sure he doesn't become as big of a threat as he could be. But again, they have to be smart with the engages, and the potential for the Dragons just to turn around and say, oh, you're engaging on us? No. We're turning the tables back around, and we're on you now.
Yeah, so this is really going to be up to Given on that Olaf to try to get as much early game control of both jungles as he can. Obviously, Nunu, while he is a healthy jungle, he's not someone who can duel, especially not in Olaf. So I'm expecting to see Given looking for some counter invading and trying to get his team at least even in this mid game. The side of the Phantoms, if this game starts going to late, it's gonna really quickly start to tip over in their favor. Mordekaiser is a very strong late game champion. Zed able to just completely one shot either Karma or Varus at any point in time, and just Pantheon's gonna fall off. Varus, assuming that it's lethality Varus, which is most likely in the situation, is gonna fall off. Jin is just gonna get stronger. Senna is just gonna get stronger. So it's really up to the Dragons to close this out early, and I have faith in them to do that. They have shown time and time again that they are quite capable of closing out games with an early lead that they acquired so easily.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one unfolds. But of course, we want to hear from you guys at home. So let us know who you think is gonna win game number 1. Poll is going live right now, and you can send in your votes. Let us know, will it be the Dragons that take game number 1, or will it be the Phantoms? And just a reminder, guys, this is a best of 5. We could potentially be going to 5 full games tonight. So lots of action to come tonight. And of course, if you want to go see the Spartans Academy and the Gators Academy game and series go on, that is over on our second channel, LAS_esports 2. So if you got dual monitors, set them both up. That's the way to do it. Or
use multi-Twitch, you got it.
Yep.
There's ways to do it. You can do it. I believe in you. But either way, a couple of great games going on right now. Looking forward to seeing how these play out. I'm personally going to give my vote to the Dragons for, most of the obvious reasons, but also I really like their team comp. I really like how they drafted and how they counteracted the majority of their opponents as best they could.
I think I'm with you on that. Dragons Academy has really been showing how well they are just pulling the trigger and making cohesive team decisions. They know what parameters they've set for themselves. They know late game is not where they excel at. So they are looking for that early mid game and looking to end things out earlier before the Phantoms scale up and become completely unstoppable in those head-to-head fights.
Yeah, it's gonna happen real soon. That the Dragons get their lead. That is, I suspect by the time second dragon spawning, the Dragons have 2,000 gold lead.
Okay.
If they don't have that level of gold lead by that point in time, and they haven't secured both of those dragons, I would start to maybe worry about them a bit. They do have a team comp that is going to fall off, but then again, they're also so dominant lately that I can never really write them off. There's never going to be a point in this game where I'm like, okay, the Dragons are done. Go next.
That is very fair. Guys, just a reminder, the poll is about to close, so make sure to get those votes in before it does. But we are heading over to the Rift. It's okay, brain lag. We're good. But yeah, let's see what these two teams have to bring to game number 1 as we're about to see the series unfold. I'm ready to go. We're gonna see some craziness come out here as our number 1 team picking a very, very early and mid game kind of composition here. But of course, if Phantoms can hold out and get themselves to that late game point, they are going to become much more of a threat to the Dragons Academy team. But we'll have to see how this one goes, because Dragons, obviously sitting 18-2 after the regular split, are going to be a little bit threatening coming into that. So Phantoms definitely have to respect that power that is being brought in with these members of the Dragons. So we're going to pause it at 5 seconds so both us casters are synced up here, and then we get to start all that action for our first game here of the playoffs.
Yeah, and a fun fact coming in from Flip Trick in the chat there, I don't know if everyone saw it, but he said that never has a first place team actually won the entire season. That is quite an interesting fact, and I'm hoping that the Dragons of all teams are the ones to beat it. I am at 5 seconds.
As am I. Let's get this going. 3, 2, 1. Game number 1 coming at you guys right now. let's see if they're gonna have a little bit of fun here. It is playoffs, so I'm expecting something more of a safe, respectable kind of start here. But who knows with the Dragons, you know?
Yeah, we can see some pings coming out early on. No one really looking to invade, however. Both teams spreading out across this rift. Don't think that we'll be seeing any funny early shenanigans here. As Nairo is going to be spotted out, likely entering that bush. Oh, but now they know each other's there, so...
A little bit of poke there from Blunky, but just how do you do? It does pop the,
yeah, just saying hello.
The bone plating on him, though, which is... that's... In this kind of situation, it's not a big deal, but that is something you kind of want to look for when poking down supports before they go and engage, especially Leona. However, Blunky actually might be caught here a little bit. Axford gonna find this dead, poking him down. Hyrie just barely missing that Q, but that's...
Wow.
That's a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, that's a forced back at this point in time, and that means that he's not going to be getting to lane on time. That's actually quite huge for Axford. He might be able to just shove this lane in as fast as possible, have it crash into tower and deny as much CS. He might instead opt to just freeze it and not necessarily freeze it, but slow push it and just allow the minions to die to his enemy minions. And it looks like that is what he's going to do in this early game. Just try to make sure a couple of those melees die off and he can hit level 2 earlier than Blunky.
Yeah, this is really smart, setting up that wave management very, very well early on in this game. And getting that ball rolling for the snowballing Pantheon.
Yeah, and such a snowballing champion he is, for sure. I mean, if he's able to get ahead early in this matchup, I expect him to just be able to constantly all-in Blunky over and over. We see just, you know, some trading already, trading back and forth.
Great in on him, poking him down. I mean, that's why you see Blunky get the refillable pot, because he knows what Axford is going to be doing in this lane. But you see from the Pantheon, he's got a corrupting potion, and he took biscuits as well too. So not only does he have the sustain, he's got a bunch of damage to back it up too. So it's that could be pretty annoying.
And if you're able to use that corrupting potion properly too, I mean, it means so much more. It looks like he also took, yes, Time Warp Tonic, so he will be able to pop that, get a little bit of extra movement speed, and get a little bit of extra healing as well from it. Really nice to see when they go Time Warp Tonic to grab Corrupting Potion first. I mean, Doran's is nice.
Oh, look at bot though. Here comes Exiles with the Giant Snowball. That will force the flash out, but it's going to be first life. Nubs is taken down there, and the kill goes over to Juanito's Soul. Definitely where you want it on that Varus. Get those, believe it is going to be lethality Varus. So that Comet we see on him going to be picking up that.
Oh no, mid lane.
Oh no! Mid lane, Axrid seeing the Axe diff this early on. We were talking about it, but that's very early for this to be happening already.
He hit the level 4, he popped his Ignite, he all-in him, and managed to bring him down. I was going to say, before I even got the chance to talk about that, I really liked the play that they did in bottom lane. Nubs for Life was very far pushed forward, and Juanito was already going to be able to kill him. So both Nairo and Excels ran immediately at Brave Carcass, saying, hey, you know, maybe we'll be able to kill him as well. Instead, they just get his flash out, but that's way more than they would have gotten if they had just focused Nubs for Life and gotten what was already a guaranteed kill. So I really like the targeting from them there. It's a lot of synergy coming in between.
Oh my goodness, look at him come. The flash out of Blunky. There are just sums being blown all over the map on the side of the Phantoms. And
good job from XLs here.
Yeah, this is some really good roams, and that's the power of that Nunu. Oh, back and bottom though, we have another fight breaking out. Brave Carcass trying to get out, but Juanito's Soul getting another kill, a massive Q from him.
Just constant action coming out here. That's more action happening because XLs and Nairo were able to blow the flash of Brave Carcass earlier, and then XLs immediately runs mid, blows that flash from Blunky. I expect to see him come back again. He's already going back mid. Blunky doesn't have flash. He's pushed up.
No flash, but a nice shadow there to get out. Very well timed. And,
yes, that was well played.
Might have a run at the junglers do see each other, but are they gonna run? XLs might go and say hello to this one. Even now trading back and forth. Zed is roaming around. We see the snowballs come out, but do not hit. The Zenith Blade will also miss, so we see both the flashes coming out of either jungler. And the Varus Q also will go just slightly wide. But again, sums are just being expended at no worry to either side here.
Yeah, that's how many 4 flashes down before 6 minutes in the game. That's impressive stuff. Oh, looks like Dragon though is going to be started here by the side of the Phantoms.
Might be a little tough because Pantheon could be roaming in here. He doesn't have his ult yet, but the threat of this Varus Leona combo is just so scary. We see that now. The flash in, the Zenith Blade goes in. Santa heal from the back, but it doesn't matter. Juanito Soul picking up his 3rd kill of the game. My God, this is Varus. 3 kills at 6 minutes.
Yeah, Phantoms thought they had an opening there since XLs was forced to back from his really low health bar and blown flash, but unfortunately for them, Axrid had also reset and was already on his way back onto the map and manages to make it there in time. He may not have necessarily caused the kill, but the pressure of him existing and getting there quicker than Blunky was what made it so that, or not, but anyways, that's what made it so that Juanito and Nairo had enough pressure to just walk in, challenge them. Oh my goodness, these trades in the mid lane.
The Ignite comes down, the Flash comes in as well too. There's his Z ult, flash and dash, but he just turns around and autos them, and that's it. The Ocean Drake will be going over to the Dragon's Academy, but here comes XLs once more. Given has to make a turn around the corner, but not able to quite turn that one too deep. But here's, oh damn, the Pantheon ult coming through. They're going to try and find it, but it might be a little bit greedy to go in too hard. But they lock him down. They take him down. That a wonderful combo. And even bot lane too. Dragons are just styling all over the Phantoms. We're not even 7 minutes in, and they essentially have a kill every single minute at this point.
Yeah, and they've got CS leads across the map. I mean, actually, you know what? I'm going to retract that statement. They've got a massive CS lead in bot lane. Everywhere else is doing nice and even, but you got those 7 kills up, and that's just going to be all that power in the world. You've got 3,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. What did I say? They had to have
Varus ult, the lockdown, the Q, the Leona goes in, and Juanito Soul picks up his 5th kill of the game. Axe difference. We can't even keep up with the Dragons right now. They are just taking down the Phantoms too fast.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Axrid, Blunky tried to all-in him. Axrid was at, 30% health, and he just manages to take him down. Now in the top lane, I don't think Obelisk gets anything out of this. I mean...
that's a nice lead. Right? That's the shield. He's still peeling back. He's just slightly out of that pool, but the pull back in.
Oh,
the damage.
No.
Oh my goodness, High Reef! What is that? Oh.
What is this? What is happening to this game?
This is optimal. This is so good for the Dragons. They are just winning at every single opportunity that they are given.
This is unreal.
You wanted what kind of a 2K gold lead at what time again?
By the time the second dragon spawned.
Okay. Second dragon's up in 3 minutes, and we're at a 3.5K gold lead? Almost 4K.
No, more than 4K, right?
4K. Yeah, more than 4K at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, the Zenith Blade back on bottom. Nairo looking for it, and the poke from Juanito Soul with a flash coming out of Brave Carcass. Phantoms forced off again, and look at mid as here comes Exiles one more time. Blunky.
Oh my goodness.
Shadow, thank goodness he still got that up.
But just the fact that XLs is causing so much pressure in this mid lane, it means that Blunky is never able to use that shadow step forward. He always has to keep it off cooldown, waiting for XLs to come in. Oh my goodness.
Word. Down bot, and Juanito Soul is going to find himself the second one. It's a bloodbath in that bot lane. 7-0 Varus at 12 minutes. I don't know what to do about that. The gold difference there between ADCs is 2,700 at this point.
The Dragons are just playing absolutely out of their mind. Their worst lane is still 1-0 and even in CS. And it's the lane that's meant to be a support.
Yeah,
I don't know
honestly, he's doing a really good job up there of keeping up, and actually just a little bit ahead in CS there.
Like, he's just, I don't, and because he's building the support items, he's already got that Athene's Unholy Grail completed to just the haunting
guys. The Varus lockdown, the E goes in, there goes Leona. Another kill for Juanito Soul. He's 8-0, the Ignite's coming down, the Q poke, and the Ignite will finish him off. Nairo picks up the kill there, and the assist going over to the Varus. I mean, yeah, Juanito Soul, he's looking juicy. That's 700 gold as a bounty, but I don't want to go near him. I wouldn't want to even touch him.
Nubs for Life is 3 levels down on Juanito right now. There's no situation where you consider walking up unless you're in even a 4v2. Like, you have to bring Given down. Given needed to get level 6, but he has to get down to that bottom lane and try to just stop the bleeding. It might already be too late, but if they're gonna do it, it has to be before this first tower drops. I don't know any other way that they manage to make any form of comeback in this game with their bot lane down over 40 CS. 8 kills.
I
3
don't
levels.
know. Yeah, I have no idea what you say to this, but that's actually going back in. That's Zed all going to be popped. Blunky looking for it. The Ignite is going down on the Zed, and Axrid just takes the axe to the Zed once more. 5-0 in that mid lane. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is getting to be quite the bloodbath at this point, but this is not your typical bloodbath where it's both teams going back and forth 24/7. This is just the Dragons spilling the Phantom's blood all over this map. There's no saving grace from this team at this point in time. Every player is currently losing their matchup. I'm trying to think of a scenario where, you know, the Phantoms can find an opening to make a play, but Excels is on that dragon. He's been all over this map on the Nunu, just making sure that there's nothing for this Olaf to get at any point in time. As I say that,
he's going in, he's taking the ult, but it will be smited down by XLs, and now we see that's actually onto the backline. Senna's on the run, and she's trying to get out. The flash comes through to save her life. Olaf makes it over the pit as well too, but Axrid has a spear of his own. That's
yeah.
He's going in, he flashes in, he locks him down. Braveheart gets going down. Juanito's soul from the back line. Oh my goodness, and back down bottom. Oh, you're not going anywhere, Given. XLs hunts him down with that giant snowball. And speaking of snowballs, Dragons have just surmounted a gold lead. Almost 10k at 12 minutes.
Yeah, 9,000 gold. I don't even possibly understand. They are greater than 1 kill a minute. Quickly approaching 2 as Blunky is going to try to make a play in the top lane.
He's looking for it, but the leash is just going to stop him. I have no words for this. Dragons are just
I mean, Blunky tried to do something. You got to admire that at the very least. But unfortunately, the Karma just so slippery. Has the leash, has the speed up, has, I mean, probably sitting on how much gold? 1,500 additional gold. Mordekaiser ultimate comes out though. Looking to maybe get something.
Shield up. Hyreef is heading back and forth. The nice little shield goes up as well too, but Obelisk is out of that ult. He flashes away to get rid of that leash, and the Mantra Q just slightly miss. If that
was the Mantra Q, that actually would have probably killed him.
Yes, it would have pulled on the ground. Right.
Yeah, but unfortunately, just a regular old Q doesn't quite.
Look at this. Varus locked down. Zenith blade in, and Pantheon to follow up, but the kill goes over.
Maybe.
We see, it is going to be the kill going over to Nubs, the Senna ult from out of nowhere. But, damn, Given able to find another member as he's going to be taking down Axgrid. That will be the Solar Flare to lock down that Olaf, and Nairo able to save themselves in that one. But, okay, we got a couple kills over there. Big shutdown there on Juanito's Soul. That was 700 gold being given over to
I imagine those were both pretty huge shutdowns. Oh god,
top lane though, XL's in with the snowball, looking to find the Obelisk.
Oh no.
And without the ultimate, he's just gonna go down. XL's gives him a little thumbs up right before he takes him. Oh my god. Oh.
Wow. Okay, so let's take another second to examine this game state. As it has not significantly changed, it will not take us particularly long. There were 2 huge shutdowns given over, so that is something to write home about. Senna.
We're still going. We're not done. Blunky gets out with the shadow, and look at the Varus poke. Look at that Varus poke. Takes half of Nub's health bar.
That was like 60% of his health in one singular ability. I mean, in fairness, he is 10-1 with 2 completed items to the enemy's 0 completed items. You have 2, I mean, lethality is already so cheap to begin with, but then you give it a gigantic gold lead, and this is what it looks like. it looks like your team just getting sniped by Varus Qs constantly and having absolutely no chance to even take a second for a breather. You've lost your mid lane turret. You've just lost the Rift Herald as well. It just went down. Excel's picking it up. Just, you know, on the side, just grabbing an extra thing.
Oh, now we got another fight going down. That's the solar flare down here. Comes, oh, beautifully timed snowball from XL's, and the Dragons are on the chase. Steven is going to be able to take down Nairo. The Jhin ult is in the back, but Dragons just clean this one up. It doesn't matter. However, Obelisk is in. He's trying to look for XL's. That shield is coming through, but the jump onto the Senna. Nubs is trying to get out. The stun from the Jhin. The Mordekaiser takes Axrid to the Shadow Realm, but he's able to get out of that turret range. The pool is still doing quite a bit of damage, but out of the Shadow Realm he comes, and XL's is there to help. Brave Carcass maybe don't want to trade with that Pantheon. I don't know about that. Not too sure about that. That was way too greedy there as Phantoms just fall apart. This is 16 minutes. I don't know if they can quite end here.
Push and end? This would be a statement. If they manage to bring this Rift Herald in all the way, push in and get at least
one. Oh my gosh, the Nunu ult, the lockdown, what is it, the leash? I can't even speak right now. This is just too much going on. This Dragons are just all over the Phantom. Axrid still trading back and forth. That's going to be one Nexus turret that falls as our camera's taking us on a bit of a venture here, but Phantoms trying to defend what remains of their base. Only one Nexus turret remaining. I think the Dragons are going to back on off, try and get themselves another Drake, and maybe look to end. We have an 11k gold lead at 16 and a half minutes. I don't think there's any redemption here in this game for the Phantoms.
Dragons all go AFK except for Axrid, and he'd probably be able to at least have a fighting chance of winning this game. There's just such a dominant gold lead across the entire map. Let's look at some of these matchups real quick. Axrid, 4,000 gold ahead. High Reef, 1,500 gold ahead. Juanito, I can't even do the math on this one.
4,000. Oh, Juanito Soul?
No, Juanito is almost 5,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
It's just, this is absolutely ridiculous. The only even remotely even lane is the jungle, and even then XL's is 200 gold up, and I'm pretty sure Given's received 2 absolutely gigantic shutdowns in order to be that close to XL's.
Nairo might be in a bit of trouble, caught in, but the Zenith Blade to go on in, the Solar Flare to lock down that Obelisk, and now they're on Nubs, and he will be taken down. Axrid trying to get out, but that last little poke from Jhin will do it. The rest of the Dragons still pushing on this mid lane. The axe comes from Given. Slows down Nairo a bit. The TP's now coming. As High Reef making his way into the mid lane, they might just try and end here. Look for the 4v4. Nubs is back up in 9 seconds though, so they might have to respect this. Will not have the exhaust, but does have that Senna ult available as Dragons are pushing on this last Nexus turret.
Yeah, they're just shoving it into the base. I mean, I don't know how long
the Varus ult comes
this. That is a good Varus ult.
We'll see. Given's in a bit of trouble. One more auto will do it. Oh, it comes out. One Soul picks up his 12th kill of the game, and now Dragons are going to continue to push in without Given on the map. Last Nexus turret going down. Now we have another fight. Obelisk is in the midst of this. He's going to take Nairo to the Shadow Realm as Leon is trying to make it out of there. Jhin ult in the background. That's his Zed ult popped as well too, but a massive Nunu ult to just clear out the Phantoms. Juanito Soul going on a killing spree. Axel's taking out Blunky. The Phantoms pushed into the Phantoms. They have nowhere to go as it's just the Nexus left. Here comes Asker with the ult. Oh no, Varus will go down, but oh no, a bit to him. Just finish the game, you guys. Oh, it's Super's on. Asgard going on to Jhin there. Double kill going over to him. It's just Given and XL's left. Super minions pushing on the Nexus, but I think Pantheon can just end things right here.
Yeah, hopefully just gets those last few autos in, spares us the time.
Oh my god.
Just gonna go for a bit more padding of KDA.
Can he end it?
Maybe pays for it.
I think he's gonna die. Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Axrid. I mean, you know, the Phantoms get a little bit more onto their KDA, save them a little bit. We get a couple of last-minute kills coming in, but I suspect the Dragons should be able to just wait for everyone to spawn, push up down that mid lane, and just close out the game as soon as possible.
Let's test our replay machine. We're gonna Nexus charge back if our replay is working. Oh, it is. There we go.
Maybe a bit too, a little bit too much
delayed.
time, or too
Yeah.
little time back.
That's okay. But we're testing it. There's something brand new tonight, lads.
Yeah, new tech.
New tech.
Oh man.
We'll get that working for you guys eventually as we figure it out. But yeah, Dragon's just so damn far ahead at this point in the game.
They're just clearing out the enemy jungle, grabbing every last tiny objective they can, short of Baron and Dragon Soul, which Dragon Soul's not up for another 2 minutes. I suspect we will not be waiting that long for the end of the game. I think that High Reef should just be on his way in right now. Excel's charging in with that snowball.
Yeah, we see him building it up right outside the base of the Phantoms. We are going to see this go down. Is he able to flash the Mastery
Lord.
and go in? That will be the Shadow to get him out with the knock up there. Massive Solar Flare on the 3 members of the Phantoms. That is actually going in, but Juanito Soul picks up the kill. Jin ult from the base, but the Nexus is the focus. The new ult is there. Nairo doing his best as Leona finish this off as Juanito Soul maybe in a bit of trouble getting that shield there from the Karma as Obelisk taking Astrid to the Shadow Realm. Does not matter. Phantoms are dropping left and right. That's the ace, and that is the neck. Oh, wait, they have to get the inhibitor first. Oh, no. This one's done, though. They just need to take out this inhibitor. Death timers will bring back Blunkey and Nubs in time, but there's only around 900. No, this game's done. Yeah. So Dragon's going to be picking up the first game here in this series, and a hell of a way to start off the series as they just dominate and force their way to a win here to start things off.
My goodness, what a dominant first game for this series, really showing off, flexing their muscles to make sure the enemy knows just what they're up against. Wow. I suspect we're going to be seeing a Varus ban in our near future, but
I think so. I think you're totally right on that one.
Even without that, though, they were just so strong throughout every point of that game.
There was no stopping them. Just look at the damage from the Varus. In a 21-minute game, he was able to pump out 26k. That
more than 1,000 damage per minute. That is a disgusting statistic. I mean, you compare that with his typical stats, he averages 607 damage per minute, and he went and almost doubled it. Just gross. Get him off of that champion. He should never, Varus should have never been allowed through in general, but giving it to Juanito, who has shown time and again how competent and strong a player he is just asking for trouble.
Yeah, and honestly, having Nairo down there to make those massive engages, protect him when anybody even tried to get near him, was just so key there. But honestly, Dragons just really flexing their muscles in that game number 1 and showing how damn strong they are and why they were the first place team coming into the playoffs going 18-2. I really have no words. 17-2-7 on Varus, 15-3-8 on the Pantheon.
Yeah, their weakest player that game was High Reef in the top lane, and High Reef was absolutely beautiful in that game. Like, in any other game, if he had played that well, he would have been a highlight. He had high contention for a highlight player. But he was just overshadowed by how ridiculously well Axford and Juanito did in this game. It was just gross. And Excel's setting them all up for victory. I have to really compliment his early game plays on that Nunu, going from lane to lane, blowing so many flashes and applying so much pressure as a very low pressure jungler.
Yeah, that was just super good stuff from the Dragons. Makes you wonder what the Phantoms are going to do in this next game. Like that was just an absolute just smash. The Dragons just smashed the Phantoms. So Phantoms really need to use this break, have a talk and figure out what went wrong. I mean, it just was across the board. They really need to fix things out as a team, get things rolling, because that's what we saw from the Dragons. A lot of coordination, a lot of setups to get those key carries rolling in these team fights. So really good stuff from them. But for now, we are going to head to break for about 5 minutes, guys. And when we return, we will announce our player of the game. So make sure to vote in the poll that is coming up right about now. Let us know who you think deserves that player of the game. We're going to announce them when we come back from our break and then hop into pick and ban for game number 2 with, I believe, Phantom switching over to the blue side and Dragons on the red. So, guys, you do not want to go anywhere because we've got some crazy action coming to you guys, and it is just this is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts, Bartowski.
You can't afford to miss a minute. If you miss a minute, you miss 2 kills, you miss like 1,000 damage. Like just stay here, stay tuned in. You don't want to miss any of it.
All right, we'll see you guys right after the break.
you land your taunt and your Q, like you're actually putting out a good amount of DPS on anyone that you're trying to fight up against, especially if there's someone squishy like an AD carry. You can manage to deal out a good chunk of damage to whoever it might be coming against you. So we'll have to see how the Dragons react here. Trundle could be good into Shen. That's definitely a fine lane to make, but it looks like High Reef might be leaning towards that Karma once again. Would not surprise me. Definitely a decent pick in every situation, but especially against a Shen who doesn't necessarily have an intense amount of kill pressure. You're just going to be able to farm, clear waves. He also doesn't have a lot of wave clear. So until Shen picks up a Tiamat, which he might not necessarily want to be rushing to begin with, he's going to have a hard time to prevent himself from just being shoved into tower endlessly by High Reef on that Karma.
And now we're seeing a bunch of ADC bans coming through.
Yeah.
Both Brave Carcass and One Eater Soul. We'll have to see what they pick, because both teams are kind of limiting the options here for their ADCs, but we'll see what they decide to go with. It's most likely
Ezreal's still on the table. I think that'd be a quite likely pick for the side of the Dragons. I'm not sure how Juanito feels on that champion, but it's facing up against Leona. You're happy to have an AD carry who has a bit more of mobility. Tristana also a possible pick, though not nearly as meta as of late. So I'd expect to see maybe an Ezreal pickup after we come out of this ban phase, unless the Phantoms decide to kick that off the table. Dragon's going a bit over their timer. There's the Ezreal ban hover, and there's the Ezreal ban in general. So we'll have to see Dragons what they decide to pick up here.
Yeah, that'll be warning number 1 for the Dragons. So if that does repeat, I think it was a ban for their next game.
Yes.
Which you definitely do not want to be doing in playoffs. This is everything. Everything's on the line right now. You know, whoever's winning tonight is making it to the finals next week, and you want to make sure you have all those advantages there. And that's why we saw the flip round between Senna and Xayah, because it's looking like Juanito Soul is going to be picking up that Xayah there.
Yeah, so Xayah not necessarily a high mobility AD carry, but the untargetability when you enter into your ult is a great counter to the Leona in that laning phase and throughout the game in general. Just being able to avoid several crowd control spells. Brave Carcass hovering that Kaisa as a response. A really good champion, especially with the Leona, to be able to follow up on any CC post level 6, can just ult in and attempt to all in. Gonna be difficult, of course, for sorry, I see Obelisk next to Leona. Difficult for Nubs for Life to land said CC, considering there is a Morgana on the side of the Dragons. So gonna be tricky to see what he's able to do in the early laning phase. I expect to see some attempted all-ins at level 2, maybe a fast push coming out from Brave himself and Brave Carcass. Of course, Xayah, not the easiest champion to shove in on if Xayah does not want you to shove in. Oh.
Yeah, and okay, we see the Diana there for Blunky. Really strong engage. That ult is just pretty terrifying around those big team fights, especially on big objectives. Around the Dragon, around the Baron Pit, can really swing things in the favor of whoever has that Diana. So we'll see how well they utilize that Diana ult when it comes down to it. Of course, you lock people down with Diana ult, you get a big Solar Flare follow up with the Leona, but oh my goodness.
Oh,
in the mid lane?
It hasn't been locked in yet.
Both
I don't think Jace.
Jace is
damn
scary right now too.
I mean, sure, but I see Astrid more likely playing the Aurelia. We'll see if they lock it in anyways, though. Make me a liar.
Oh,
Gangplank. Gangplank. Now, does Axford play Gangplank, or is he going to be going? Oh my goodness! I'm going to stop predicting. I'm just going to let them lock in.
That's a good question, because it could be the Karma mid, GP top, and vice versa. Either way,
it could be Karma bot, Morgana mid. That's probably the least likely of the scenarios. I don't think they put Axford on someone like Morgana. but possibly it's going to be the AP Karma mid. Doesn't go for the support items, just goes pure damage, gets that early, what's the item called? It is a staff, and it does a little splash damage,
The
and it's going to
Luden's
come to me
Echo.
eventually. Luden's Echo is
There we
the
are.
item. Thank you for that. So we might see Axrid pulling out that Karma mid, going for the Luden's Echo, but instead, oh, Diana is disabled right now.
Is she really?
Why is Diana disabled?
Oh no.
Well, that is mildly unfortunate.
That puts a bit of a stopper in the plans there. My God. So it looks like Diana is going to be another champion there. So let's see.
Looks like it's Fizz, according to Flip Trick in our chat. I was not aware of any issues with Diana at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm quite curious to see, to know what the reason why Riot disabled her. Oh my goodness.
Well, that throws a slight wrench in the cog. Hopefully, they're happy to have that Fizz, and it's not going to be one of those situations where, you know, would have much preferred the Diana or something like that. Are we getting an official announcement? No, we have not gotten an announcement yet.
All right, we're waiting to hear from the players what is officially being locked in there instead of Diana. It might be, yeah, it's looking like it's going to be Mordekaiser.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. So yeah, it makes you really question where are the Dragons going to be sending all these different champions right now, because there's a lot of different potential matchups on either side. And Mordekaiser, again, we saw him, you know, able to pump out lots and lots of damage, but into either gameplay and karma, that's still, you got to get around that poke, and you got to be more aggressive as soon as you hit the level 6. But if it is that GP in the mid lane, he's got the orange.
Yeah.
You can just eat the orange and get out of those ults.
Yeah, I don't know how the orange interacts with Fizz ult. I think it interacts the same way that QSS does, in that it will stop it from being attached to you, and then you can walk out of it. Of course, if you don't have...
Mordekaiser will be the
Oh,
Mordekaiser in the mid lane.
oh, right. You're right. Sorry. Yes. So Mordekaiser, and that is the same thing, right, as QSS, where you eat the orange and you get out of that Mordekaiser ult. So that's a little bit unfortunate.
Oh, it's...
But we might end up with another repick.
Yeah, it is another repick. So both teams, I guess that's sort of fair, you know.
Yeah.
Both last picks are going to be changed. So instead of Diana, will be Morgana, and instead of Gangplank, it's going to be Urgot. So both very, very strong picks. And a bit of a tanky mid lane there. So this is going to be some duking back and forth. This is it's going to look.
Yes, of course, assuming it is going to be Urgot in the mid lane.
This
could be Urgot top.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we'll have to see what they decide to do there. As I attempt, for my own curiosity's sake, to figure out what might have happened to Diana.
Yeah, that is a little bizarre there. But we will flip on over to the client to see where the heck these champions are actually going. So let's see what positions these guys are playing. But of course, don't forget to head on over to our Instagram, LAS_esports, to check out our most recent giveaway. It is a giveaway for 20 RP. That is in US dollars. So first place gets $20, and of course there's a second place draw for $10 of RP. So make sure to head on over there, like the pokes, tag your friends, and you can also check out the link in the bio to get additional entries into the draw. And we will be announcing our draw, I believe it's next week on the premiere night. We're going to be announcing a winner. Both are winners, actually. So make sure to check it out, enter in, and best of luck, everybody.
Is that, sorry, tomorrow or next week's premiere?
Next week.
Okay.
Finals, we're going to be announcing.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
I think the players are just getting organized. Juanito Soul is no longer in the custom game here, so we got to go find out where the Dragons ADC went.
Went for a quick break. Apparently he's stuck.
He's stuck. Oh, restarting. Okay. So we are just going to take a quick little breather there. But honestly, this Urgot is just so damn scary. He can be a very, very big threat, especially in those team fights. You know, just flinging out his ulti there. Anybody who's low in the path of that Urgot ult is just toast. Which it's so unfortunate getting hit with that and be like, okay, goodbye team. And we do have an update from our other bracket as well too. That is currently going on over on LAS Esports 2. It is the Spartans that have picked up a win in game number 1. So right now it is 1-0 in favor of the Spartans over the Gators Academy. We'll keep you guys updated as we hear from that bracket over there. But if you're interested, go and check out the other bracket on LAS_Esports 2. Make sure to give them a follow and show the same love that you show over here on the main channel. But I believe we're all in the client now and ready to go see where these guys are going.
Yeah, gonna find out who goes in what lane. Obviously, we have that Urgot and that Mordekaiser as our last 2 picks rather than the Diana and the Gangplank. So just a little bit of different stuff going on here.
A little bit of a switch up there, but you know it's fair. You know, one champ gets changed out, so the other team gets a champ to change out as well too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and luckily it was just those last 2 champions. If it had been, you know, much earlier in the rotation, it might have affected how the entire pick and ban went. But luckily, instead we end up with just the last 2 being repicked, and you know we can live with that. That's you know, very doable.
That is very doable, but we are going to get to see it will be the Shen in the top lane, which means Mordekaiser in the mid. This is the pick I'm curious. I would assume High Reef is going to be taking that Karma back again up to the top lane, so we do see that come through again. Which means we got jungle?
Wait.
No, wait, Trundle, what am I talking about? They have a Trundle! What am I talking about? I missed that one. I'm looking Morgana down, and apparently I just missed Trundle. But yes, Trundle in the jungle for XLs there, and Given on the Olaf. So 2 really strong junglers have lots of early roam potential. Either one can really get those lanes snowballing, so it really depends on how aggressive the junglers feel on playing in this kind of game. I'm sure we're going to see XLs in some lane very early on in this game. We saw how aggressive he was with the Nunu, and I'm sure we're going to see something similar to that again with his jungle. Which is weird. There's Diana. What? Well,
so Diana was disabled in pro play in the LEC for this past week, it seems.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so just following up on any rulings from pro play kind of makes some sense. So that is going to cause that Urgot mid. This is quite the matchup. I am very interested in seeing how this goes. Both melee champions, so going to be kind of easier on the ganking side. Obviously, Olaf doesn't bring a lot to the table for a gank besides his axes. Trundle, on the other hand, having a strong pillar, and Urgot himself having a small dash. So I suspect we'll see Blunky getting pressured a good amount in this mid lane. Will be interesting to see. Oh, you might be busy for this game though.
No way. Did I just read that right?
We've got a Heimerdinger picked on LASQ channel.
Oh my god, he totally picked a Heimer. What? Bro.
Why would they do this to you? Oh my god, was it picked by you, Yvonne as well?
Yep, the one who's been picking all the crazy stuff. That is fantastic. I don't know if that's going to be picked up by Sion, but that's yeah, I might have that on the side as well too. That's okay because we're supporting both streams right now.
Yeah, exactly.
If you got the dual monitor set up, absolutely do that. You got LAS Esports on one, you got LAS Esports 2 on the other. That's how we do it. But yeah, here are the final lock-ins for game number 2. Guys, that poll is going to be going live right now, so make sure you vote on your favorite team or who you think's going to win game number 2. Will it be the Phantoms or will it be the Dragons just showing up so dominant in game number 1? let's see if they can go for a repeat. Get those players ahead in the early game. Yeah,
This is. I mean, at this point in time, this is just the Phantoms having to reset their mental. They've got to treat this as a brand new game, as it is. There should be nothing from the previous game coming into this one, but there is that pressure on you that you just got absolutely rocked. It's difficult to really accept what just happened to you, but you got to do it. You gotta hit the reset button. You gotta be like, okay, we can do it. Everything's fine. It's just the first game again. And you've got Brave Carcass on a strong champion. You've got Obelisk on Shen, who has the ability to sustain in that lane and compete against Karma. Mordekaiser into Urga. I don't really know how to judge that matchup. I'm not even going to pretend that mid lane matchup is a matchup that I understand. So hopefully we'll see Given coming out with more pressure, getting into the enemy jungle a little bit more, just kind of maybe taking a few camps on his way. Nubs for life, hopefully able to get some engages onto that Xayah or the Morgana, bait out the Black Shield, go for the other target. It's going to be an interesting one. The Dragons, with that team comp, with the Xayah, with the Karma, and the Morgana, they've got quite a strong comp there. They've set Juanito up for another successful game. I suspect that we will see them play through him once again. And it's going to be up to the junglers to determine the pace of this game.
Yeah, I think Excel's is really just going to be running around looking for those early ganks, especially with that pillar. That's kind of what we're seeing from Excel's, especially even just seeing Trundle players throughout the split. That's the goal there. You get your early camps, and you're looking for a gank very early on in this game to get the ball rolling, especially on someone like Urgot or Juanito Sol. It's going to be so devastating to the Phantoms if the Dragons are able to pull something like that off again. And of course, High Reef he's pretty self-sustaining up in that top lane. We saw what he was able to do last game with the Karma, and he's really just kind of able to stay up there, take things nice and slow, and not, do anything too crazy with that Karma unless it's needed, right? We saw it was the Mordekaiser that made the engage as the Karma was running away, and he was able to turn things around onto Obelisk. So that's some really good stuff there in the top lane to keep that pace where you want it. And that's what you want to see from a top lane area. And that really allows your jungler to be going to those other lanes and getting those snowballing lanes really, really rolling. But it looks like 80% of you voting for the Dragons. And we'll see if that comes true one more time, because Dragons showing up big in that first game and probably looking for a second win to put them at match point.
Yeah, I suspect that we're likely going to be looking either at a very well fought game from the Phantoms or match point for the Dragons after this. The Phantoms are just going to have to do a complete 180 from where they were last game to stand a chance here. I'm just going to run down some runes real quick while we're still loading in and waiting for the beginning of this game. So we got press the attack on the Urgot. That's an interesting one. I guess makes sense. You're trying to look for that burst damage against the Mordekaiser. There is one specific rune that I'm going to kind of cast doubt on, and that's the grasp coming out from the Shen. I don't see a scenario where you're against a Karma and you get to proc that grasp of the Undying even remotely frequently.
Yeah, because we saw so many times High Reef in the last game. Anytime someone tried to dive him or go in, it was leash. Do you really want to dive me? No, I don't think so. Because
Karma is one of the best champions. Yeah, Karma is one of the best champions for keeping the enemy laner at arm's length. You're not going to get close to her without suffering an incredible amount of damage on your way in. So I don't really like that rune. I would have maybe, if you absolutely want to go for that tree, you should maybe consider going Guardian. Guardian, when you pop your ultimate, it will proc onto your target. So Kaisa, for instance, would get a nice big juicy shield. There's other choices. Aftershock, a viable pick as well, I suppose. Grasp in the typical matchup, yes, absolutely. Go Grasp, sure. But against someone like Karma, against someone like High Reef, I think that's just pure greed. We'll see if I eat my words as I'm paused at 5 seconds.
As am I. Let's get into this one then. 3, 2, 1. Game number 2 coming at you guys right now. Phantoms now over on the blue side. Dragons on the red, and they are up a game right now. Winning here will put them at match point. And obviously, after a super impressive game 1, we're going to see probably the same sort of aggressiveness coming our way then. Gotta be watching for those early ganks from XLs. Yeah, we'll have to see what the Phantoms are going to do to answer that first one, because it was just completely one-sided for the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, it was what, 18-0 at one point in the game. I don't like you got to do something to make sure that does not happen again. So looking down, we see typical starts here. We've got the Doran Shield coming in from the Mordekaiser and the Shen. That makes sense. You want to try to absorb as much of the poke from the enemy laner as you can. Nairo going for the Spell Thief, so looking to poke out probably the Karma, not the Karma, sorry, the Leona as much as he can. You always enjoy as a spellcaster being up against those melee champions, especially when you are Morgana and you can black shield any attempted engages. Looks like both junglers are going to be starting on their reds. And that's kind of what I might expect here. I suspect that XLs is going to be going red to blue to ganking bot lane, and even might try to go red to blue to either invading that top side and getting some additional CS under his belt, or just relieving some of the pressure that High Reef will have applied in that top lane against the Obelisk, and making sure that matchup doesn't go too far in the way of the Karma.
Yeah.
Interesting starting ability for the Urgot there. I like it because
Urgot, I am.
Yeah, that's just enjoyable in general. Oh, some early bindings already landing in that bot lane. Love to see it.
Yeah, gotta keep your eyes peeled for any of that action, because honestly, we saw how fast the Dragons can really pull the trigger, and that's what we were talking about before we even started the series. How cohesive they are as a team, and
even though.
Oh, look at this! He's waiting.
Yeah, he went red to Wraiths, and now with his level 2, he's looking to gank this lane here. They do have level 2. They should be going all in, but instead he's waiting for this Trundle.
Oh no, they're actually
oh no.
What a pause we get indeed. Oh my gosh. Well, this is gonna be interesting to see how this unravels, because Morgana's got her binding, she's got her black shield. Anyone who the CC is directed to, wherever that Leona decides to go in, because she's got level 2 as well, which means Zenith's Blade and her Q as well. She can just black shield and then follow up with a binding.
But they're gonna have to go over and help Given as fast as possible. That is a level 3 double of Trundle on your level 2 Olaf. Yeah, Olaf is gonna get stronger the lower health he gets, but Trundle steals so much additional attack damage with his Q that it's going to be really difficult for Olaf to win this 1v1 as a level down as well. They're going to have to get up there and help him as fast as possible.
Yeah, and the issue is walking up to is if that Olaf is going to go down, right? Let's see what happens as we are back on the map, as Even is running away. We see the Zenith go into the flash from Even to get back on up to 60. That's the binding on to Nubs. Will they get out? No, that will be first blood, even though the flash comes out. Juanito Soul picking up first. And Axrid going to be picking up a kill there in the mid lane. This is the same thing that happened the last game. Juanito still picks up first blood, and before we can even get back to another lane, Axrid gets the follow-up and the solo kill on the Blunky.
Yeah, and then, just as we were saying before, in that top lane, Obelisk is now at half HP and High Reef's at full.
Look at this. Brave Carcass in so much trouble. The binding comes down. The pillars there to cut him off, and XLs will collect that kill on Brave Carcass for himself.
And Brave Carcass, you had your flash up, but deciding instead that probably not a decision, honestly, just wasn't paying attention to where that Morgana was and where that binding was coming from. is not able to get that flash in on time and pays for it with his life. At least he smartly does not burn it after the fact and ends up just dying anyways. But my goodness, if you look towards his top lane, you can just see, oh no, mid first.
Oh, mid first, that's the pillar. Oh, just on the wrong side of Blunky, but that could have been a lot.
Now go look at top.
Oh my goodness, look at this, the poke.
Yeah.
High Reef just making such good use of those ranged autos for this poke. Obelisk down, and he's going to force a back very early on in this lane.
Yeah, I like this. So the CS is extremely even. So credit to Obelisk where credit is due. He is making sure that he's keeping up. But you can see High Reef is doing his job. Obelisk was forced to back so early at only like 10% HP. Any longer, and he definitely would have died in that lane. So smart from him.
Oh, that's Zen's blade in. We're gonna look for it, but the Black Shield helps. So stay away from that CC, and we do see a flash coming out of Nairo as well.
Yeah, Nairo not quite expecting Nubs to re-engage off of that missed binding from his Morgana. Ooh, another missed binding.
Yeah, right into the minion there. The pull comes out just to get that little proc of parry. Oh, but not too much happening there. We do see some pings in the mid lane as it seems that Ward's spotting out Given as he's making his way down. And but down in the bot lane, look at those feathers getting pulled. It will be Nairo picking up that kill, but Brave Carcass going down once more. However, I think it might be the bot lane in a bit of trouble.
Oh no!
Blade just barely missing Nairo, and he wanting to soul
feeling good
bit cheeky there.
Yeah, another nice little bind at the end there. Yeah, that was just, my goodness, just a little bit too hyphy from that side. Oh, we see an Executioner already picked up from the side of Axer. I like that a lot. You recognize that the Mordekaiser with his Conqueror and with his kit.
Fear. Look at him on Blunky. He flips him back over. He's chucking him down. That's the pull to get him closer to Given. But Given doesn't want that. Axerid is going to take out the Olaf, no problem. And Blunky is going to be forced to run away as Urgosh just walking all over.
No.
Wait, he's not walking that all over. He gets picked off.
Alright. Axrid got out with the blue buff, but then went back in. Unfortunately, donates that away to Brave Carcass, who will be quite happy with that in that lane. Maybe we'll give him a chance to get back into it. So, you know, just pushing a little bit further than maybe you should have.
Oh, but that's so Shen getting the taunt. High Reef still getting that poke back and forth, and again, see that focus on those range autos doing so much work here for the Karma. And it will be the first drag picked up by, oh no, look at this down bottom. Nairo getting the binding. There's the feathers. That's the lockup, and that's the kill. This Dragon's bot lane doing so damn well together. And now take a look, as that's the flash answered with another flash by XLs. No taunt to be coming through. And
yeah, I don't think that Obelisk had the energy at that point to get the flash. Oh, the Urgot ult comes out but hits the wrong target.
It's not going to land on the right one. Given still trying to get back out of here, but it's turned into a 3v1 situation. The exhaust will slow down Axrid, and Phantom's going to pick up the kill on that Urgot.
Yeah, that's, again, Axrid just trying to get a little bit more than he really warrants getting. Maybe thinking that he's as ahead as he was last game still at this point in time. You're only 2-1 going into that play. You only have an Executioners. You're not really pumping out a lot of damage just yet, and maybe that is going to be spelling a little bit of trouble for them as they get into this mid game. You know, trouble is a relative term. They are still solidly almost 3,000 gold in the lead, but you know, plays like that, you do have to pause and give it thought and think, you know, is a play like this going to cause us to fall behind enough that the enemy has a chance?
Oh, take a look at this though. XL is going in on the pillar. Nubs and Brave Carcass threatening that one, but that's the one going in onto the Dragon's bot lane. Now we have a little bit of a skirmish breaking out as Given locked down the flash and the heal from Brave Carcass to help save his jungler. But this pressure down bot is just insane. Axrid roaming down as well too. 4 members just, the Dragons again immediately responding to any actions in the spot lane. And we see all of them making their way down here. And beautiful little binding there by Nairo. The feathers, the pull will not get the CC, and now the Black Shield is there to protect one of the any further damage. Back in the mid lane though, Blunky's getting chunked down a bit. Axrid, showing how strong he is, takes a bit of a poke. there from that Mordekaiser Q.
Karma is officially full build. Has the Athene's Unholy Rail.
All she needs.
Is happy with this state of the game from here on out. There is nothing else that he wants nor needs. Gets to just go to lane, clear the entire back wave with just his Q, and just, continue power farming against his Shen as he's already 20 CS up. Of course, it helps that Shen was forced to use his ultimate away from the lane. Curious, though, that, he's held on to his teleport for this long. Both of them have held on to their teleports for this long. I would have expected Obelisk to consider burning it to get back up the top. He does have his own ultimate as a backup teleport to counteract any potential pressure coming out. Dragon not up for another 2 minutes. So, strange to see that he's deciding to hold on to such a powerful summoner and give up so much lane pressure because of it.
Oh no.
Wow.
This might be in a bit of trouble right now too, as he's making his way through. He's gonna step on that ward, so Trundle knows he's there. Let's see the lockdown. We're getting some music up there in the top lane as Obelisk trying to dive out. Beautiful use of the Blast Cone though. That was very, very nice. Now we're back down the bot. The Ignite is coming down. Nairo will find the kill there. Leona trying to get the lockdown, but the Black Shield will protect against the CC. And just even more poke from Juanita Soul. Olaf is down here as well too, but
oh my lord.
Even making those roams, and he's been sitting in Tribush. He was around mid for a little bit, but didn't really make use of being there very much. And we see that in the farm difference, the CS difference between junglers.
Oh my goodness. These Qs just keep landing. After those first 2 early ones where he was not quite on point, he has landed bind after bind and caused so much pressure as is Morgana. Obelisk trying to get something in on High Reef there. We'll get a decent trade, but
down with the leash. Just still following up, harassing the crap out of this poor Shen. It looks like the Herald trying to be started here by XL, but Mordekaiser following up. That is going to be the back off from XL, knowing that Olaf is probably roaming around with his mid laner, and he's going to play it safe.
Alright, now do we see the Shen teleport into lane? Maybe. With Dragon spawning soon, he does have his own ultimate, so it would be fine to blow it and try to relieve some of this pressure, instead opting to just walk back to lane and allowing High Reef to just build up this lead so much more. Minion after minion crashes into this tower, denying both CS and experience. High Reef already a single level up?
Yeah, we see even going top. As soon as this Olaf shows, High Reef might be in a bit of trouble here. Probably going to go down as the shield comes through, trying to escape from that one. But in the meantime, it's the bot lane that has the action breaking down, as Olaf does find the kill up there on High Reef, but it will be Nairo getting another kill onto the Kaisa. And knowing that Olaf is up there, that just means a free Mountain Drake here for the Dragons.
Yep, so, you make a play on one side of the map, but a play is made against you on the other side of the map. Unfortunately, Blunky was in base. Teleport coming from Shen.
Goes in Shen's down here to help out. But here comes Axrid. That's the Urgot ult. Goodbye, Nubs. They take one out. They're looking for the Obelisk as well, too, as he's probably going to go down as well, too. The Ignite is ticking down, and that will be the Shen that drops.
Trundle.
Oh my gosh.
50 HP on that or so? Did you get a...
Let me test him.
Yeah.
Very close. Blunky just pushed back with that pillar. And now the Dragons are going to have to be forced to get on out of there, as Mordekaiser coming down with his ultimate is a huge threat here. We see the Black Shield come out. But oh no, the pullback on the flash from Juanita Soul to get out of that dangerous little spot there. And we need some more poke. Dragons need to respect their low health bars right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they are exceptionally low. High Reef just used his teleport to get back into top lane after that earlier gang, so he is not available to apply any pressure in this situation. So Dragons just need to get out of there. Maybe you concede that second dragon of the game. You just got a lot of kills and a lot of plates. Be happy with that. Back off. Don't sacrifice more kills. It's just the second dragon of the game. You're going to be fine.
Will be will be the Phoenix that pick up that first Drake back in the top lane, though. We see again how much High Reef
Well, Shen is starting to actually do some real damage here, so that's getting slightly concerning for High Reef. Obviously, his goal... My goodness. Is that 610 gold?
Yeah, he's looking. He gets that solo gold from the turret there. His Q will land on the minion, but Obelisk dealing some decent damage here with the Shen, as you were saying, and almost able to find that Karma.
Yeah. But the problem, of course, is that Karma is not the carry here. Karma is going to amplify the ability.
Oh, high reef.
That heal
was so well timed. So the RE was able to get that instant little bit of health back. Now we see the trades going back and forth. However, here comes Askren.
Oh boy.
He has his ulti available, so all High Reef has to do is just hold him in place, no. And he just snipes him. My God, back in bottom lane is that God. We see both laners a bit split up. Morgana looking for it as the solar flare comes down, but will not land on Nairo. There is the Featherstorm being pulled back, but that's Brave Carcass in the back line. That Nairo will go down to the Kaisa, but Nubs is the last one remaining here. Bunny was so almost going to be finding a double kill there, but Given jumping on in to help out that bot lane. Nice little emote there from Nubs. Just barely survives.
Well played by the side of the Phantoms there to take that back into a little bit of control. That was absolutely worth it for them. You saw how much damage Juanito was pumping out, still almost able to win that in the end. But luckily for the side of the Phantoms, Brave Carcass and Nubs for Life are able to pull through and get themselves a double kill in that lane. Obviously with the help of Given coming in from the jungle, but you know, you take those.
Yeah, he honestly came flying in out of nowhere, but that was good timing, you know, good heads up on the map to be exactly where we're supposed to be. And turns it into a favorable 2-for-1 for the Phantoms there.
But now Juanito is sitting on that Essence Fever and that crit cloak. He is already at 45% crit chance, so he is going to be, you know, about half the time pumping out even more damage. As they steal away the blue buff from the enemy jungle. Oh no.
He's in a lot of trouble right now. The exhaust comes down. That's being played in. Brave Carcass pumping out that damage. The solar flare comes down. Goodbye, Xayah.
Yeah. You just cannot afford to be up anywhere near that far against the Leona. You should know better.
Look at this, though, as Nairo baiting it out as Mordekaiser will take it or got to the Shadow Realm. Very well played. Allows Given to pick up the kill onto Nairo. And Astrid is the one in trouble. He's trying to get out of there, but the flash in from Obelisk is going to pick up that kill. And Phantom starting to show some life in this series. Very nice to see from them.
So, hang on a second. Astrid landed his ultimate onto Olaf. And then Mordekaiser pulled the Urgot into the Shadow Realm, and I think that prevented him from being able to cast. Well, I know it prevented him from being able to cast it. I don't know if that was what made the difference. Like maybe Olaf didn't end up going low enough.
Well, he's low enough right there. Oh boy, that is going to be the kill picked up there for the Dragons, and Steven gets picked out. But I just got to say, High Reef split push Karma did expect that one, but it seems to be working out very well for them as Herald is going to be popped as the Dragons are looking to take a inner turret here in the top lane.
Yeah, Phantoms are definitely playing better in this situation, but they're still not playing quite enough to be able to stand up to the pressure that the Dragons are putting out. If they're not winning heavily enough on the bot lane, they'll win heavily on the top lane. They throw out the Rift Herald to pick up a turret and half of another. So there's a lot of extra gold and pressure going over. You saw it pulled Brave Carcass up there, worried that the Dragons might be pushing for another turret, which means that the side of the Dragons Academy are able to get that turret in the bot lane ahead of their opponents, get some extra gold heading over into the pockets of Juanito. You'd love to see that on your Xayah, especially when you have a Karma who's able to amp up your damage with that completed Arden Sensor and the completed Athene's Unholy Grail. His shields are going to be massive, his attack speed buffs are going to be there. Looking really good heading into this part of the game.
That's going to be so good for the rest of his team in those team fights. You know, Arden Sensor is just... There's a reason why I got certain nickname back in Season 7. Even though they nerfed it quite heavily from what it used to be, it's still a great item to pick up, especially the fact that you have the Urgot, the Trundle, and the Xayah there. Anybody who's getting that shield is going to be getting some decent buffs, but in the back of Nairo, maybe not where he wants to be. That's the Morgana ult. The Black Shield comes through as well too, but Brave Carcass going to be finding the kill there as the Solar Flare comes down in the back line, but the Featherstorm there to lock down 2 members of the Phantoms. But it's the Phantoms on the chase right now as Axrid will go down. Blunky going to be taking one Eater Soul to the Shadow Realm, and High Reef is going to be picked off. A fail flash over the wall. Brave Carcass finding himself another one. Eater Soul going down as well too. Phantoms, oh no, not the best of stopwatches as XLs goes down as well. That's going to be an ace here at...
Wow.
Wow, that was extremely well done. And they go ahead and pick themselves up an Infernal Drake. Let's see if we can run a replay, but let's see if the replay machine is actually working now as we flip on over.
That would be wonderful.
Nope, it's still the replay from the last game. What the hell is going on?
And we're back.
I could have sworn I pressed the save button. There it is. All right, so it is up and live now, but for some reason it's just not playing very nice with us. So I apologize, guys, for that. That is super weird. But back into the live action. Axrid is getting Blunky down quite a bit. Oh, just going to be missing on that last little final bit of damage. His ulti just not quite in cooldown. He's looking for it, though. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hi, Reef. What you doing? He's finding it. He found a kill. He found a kill on a Blunky. He's able to pop that Mordekaiser. As the health bars of the Phantoms are a little low, Dragons are going to take advantage of that and push in this mid-outer and possibly the mid-inner turret as well, too.
Little bit.
Okay. Olaf ult.
I was just about to mention it.
So
I was just looking this up on my other screen. Olaf ult does counteract the Urgot ultimate. I was not aware of that interaction. I did not know that if you became unCCable during Urgot's chains, or before it, you could not actually be pulled by them. So that's actually a really strong counter. We've got multiple champions in this situation that are counters to Urgot, despite the fact that Urgot was that last pick. So very interesting stuff there. I did not realize that interaction existed, so kind of cool.
That is so nicely done by Given. He saves his ass, honestly. That was just... He was ready to go. A couple more feet there, and he was Urgot Chow, but a beautifully timed ult by him. He just walks right on out of that one, and not going to be giving over another kill to Axrid.
Yeah, so definitely good play from him, and you know, I have to say, despite being down in gold still, good 6,000, the Phantoms have done a really good job to stop the bleeding of this early game. They're up a dragon now, so they're 2-1. They're almost tied up the kills. They are still down 3 turrets, so that's a section that they're going to want to catch up in as quickly as possible. As you see, Brave Carcass is pushing down that bottom lane turret, almost managing to get it, but unfortunately for him, Axrid shows up. I don't think that that's a 2v1 that you win, so I'd like to see them not necessarily push too hard for it. You don't have a completed Mura mana just yet on your Kaisa, so probably not at enough of a power spike to consider going for it. But that said, all the other dragons are in the mid lane and not really in a position to add some extra contention. They will, however, back off as the Morgana starts sweeping around, clearing off some of the vision that they had established for that safety.
Nice little binding there as both teams kind of meeting in the river. Nairo possibly in trouble. Nice little pill there to put a little bit of a blockade there for the Olaf, but that's good for the Dragons, knowing that Olaf ult is down, the Urgot ult is back up, and I'm sure Axe is looking for a little bit of redemption off that one. Feels completely cheated out of a kill.
Yeah, that's probably, if you don't play Urgot a ton, you probably wouldn't have known that interaction even existed. So seeing a kill get taken away from you by just the enemy's ultimate, that hurts. That's something that you're going to want to make up for as soon as possible. Shen ultimate almost up, so we'd like to see him maybe head towards a side lane and try to, pressure some of this standing gold that's on the map. There's 2 outer turrets right now, the bot one extremely low. Would be nice to see them try to pick that up and try and get this gold a little bit closer to being even, as Given is trying to make a play here in the mid.
They're finding it. That's going to be the Urgot. Jumped on is Kaisa, pumping out some damage. Solar Flare will go a little bit short, but the flash is in. Obelisk looking for it. A big Feather Storm is going to be pulled back as Dragons will lose one member to the Obelisk, but trading it right back as One Eater Soul picking up a kill for himself. As, Nubs flashes out, gets the heal from his ADC, as High Reef may be the one who overstepped his hand a little bit, but he does find a kill onto Given as Blunky takes him out, going to the Shadow Realm. The Feathers pulls are so damn good as Leona is coming back in, but Excel's charging down with his Trundle, follow up, the flash in, the Wild Turtle special as they're looking for it. Brave Kark is going to go down as One Eater Soul finding one and a two, a double kill for them. And what timing, as look what just spawns here for the Dragons. Beautiful little Infernal.
Get to pick up Infernal as the icing on the cake of that one team fight. It looked very close. The Phantoms had a very good showing for themselves at the beginning of that, but unfortunately for them, Juanito's damage coming out there was just way too strong for them to challenge. Again, like I said earlier, you don't have that completed Muramana on your Kaisa just yet. I believe he just completed... No, yes, he completed that Gwynsu's after the fight was completed. So he did not have that power spike either. So maybe a little bit of an overreach from them. They were so close to some extra item power spikes, but unfortunately not quite there yet.
Yeah, and even on the Kaisa too, we see the Q has been updated, so the Cathian Rain is there, but the dash it's getting close, and of course the Void Seeker is going to be a little bit of time there, but almost once we see that Mirror Mana come through, we're at 490 stacks out of 750. That's when we're going to see the Kaisa really start to shine in these fights.
He's going to have to get that extra little 25% attack speed to fully upgrade his to fully upgrade his E there. As soon as you get that, that's actually such an incredibly strong team fighting tool. It allows you to reposition so much better with the combined invisibility and I believe extra speed as well. No, just some invisibility, but that 0.5 seconds of invisibility is absolutely huge. If enemy loses track of you in the middle of a team fight, it means that you can pump out so much extra damage.
Team fights, we might have another one going in as Nubs is in the back line of Solar Flare onto two members of the Dragons here. And look, here comes Given. The Feather Storm comes out, gonna be pulled back. Given gonna drop, as well as another Phantom, as Nubs is dropped as well too. One Eater Soul in that Shadow Realm, but it looks like the Dragons are just stomping all over. It will be the Mordekaiser finding that Xayah in the back line, but Dragons are just surrounding and pounding the crap. The blue buff, the poor blue buff gets caught up in the whole fight too. But that is the ace for the Dragons, and they immediately turn their sights onto this Baron at 26.5 minutes. Oh my goodness. And almost a 10k gold lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, just as I was singing the Phantom's praise, the Dragons turn around and say, hey, this is not actually your game. We have the ability to take over at any point in time. And they do it. They pull the trigger. They get the team fight they were looking for. It was close in the end, but Blunky just not far enough ahead on that Urgot to really come close to 1v4ing, especially with Axtrid having built that Executioner so long ago. The amount of healing that Blunky has lost out on from his Conqueror is probably just so much. And because of that, winning that team fight right next to that Baron pit, it's pretty much just a free gifted Baron. So they grab it for themselves. They've got High Reef with that teleport up. I suspect he will be heading over to one of those side lanes as fast as possible. With that Rabadon's death cap completed, he will be near untouchable. And you've got QSS. You've got QSS on Juanito, you've got Infinity Edge on Juanito, you've got Rabadons on the Karma, you've got just the Death Stance Black Cleaver onto the Urgot. These tanks are unkillable, these carries are untouchable. You are not going to be getting onto them anytime soon.
Oh, nice little binding there by...
Ooh.
Oh my god.
No, there.
Brave Kark is maybe some trouble. The Soul Flare comes through in the back. A nice little heal there as Mordekaiser looking to pull some members back in, but Nairo going to be picking the kill onto Given as Dragons find themselves another pickup, and they're going to look to just shove into this mid tower into the mid inhib tower. It's 5 towers to 1. Dragons are tied up, but Dragons still looking so damn strong. Mordekaiser taking XLs to the Shadow Realm as he's trying to take down this Trundle. I don't know. Oh, he might be able to do it. He gets out in time, and the rest of the Dragons there to follow up. But Blunky will still find the kill, trades his life for it. However, that inhibitor goes down, and now I don't know about this one, Nubs. That's a little bit too ham there, as Brave Carcass going in as well too. High Reef there to follow up and take him out.
Wait. This whole time, High Roof was in that bot lane pushing that tower down, manages to pick up the extra inhibitor tower, and the inhibitor will fall shortly after. Oh my goodness. This
might be it. They have 4 cannons pushing on the Nexus turrets. 1 Nexus turret goes down. The second Nexus turret soon to follow. And Nubs going in really hard. That's going to be a big solar flare in that fight there. But Juanita Soul making it out. Still poking down that damage. That's the Urgot ult 2. Cleaning it up. Phantoms are falling left and right. And even though they showed more signs of life in this game, Dragons find themselves another win and put the series to a match point. Oh my.
Wow.
Oh my, Bartelski.
That's you know, you give away the Baron at, you know, only 24 minutes in, and then the enemy team is able to push with that Baron and take the victory. You know, that's just looking absolutely beautiful from the side of the Dragons. They didn't skip a beat there. They knew exactly what to do to close that game down. They got a couple picks on their way out as well. It was just well played from them all around. Nice try from the Phantoms. They did look better, as you mentioned, but still not good enough to stand up to the just absurd amount of pressure that can come out from the side of these Dragons.
Yeah, it's really scary going to them. Maybe game 3 is where the Phantoms pull back, because again, there were moments in that game where the Phantoms were looking very, very strong, but and even they got themselves an ace at one point too. They actually got some Dragons that game as well. But again, Dragons turning things around, and we talked about that right before. It's okay, they bait in, they might lose a member or two, but they have the ability to just turn things around so damn fast.
Yeah, like they went from, you know, maybe there's a chance for Phantoms to win this game, maybe there's a chance for them to even come back this game, to okay, no. The Dragons have rolled over onto the Phantoms, and they have just taken no prisoners. They've killed everyone. They've dealt ridiculous. What is this damage chart?
I know, this is insane.
Can someone make sense of this for me?
Look at the damage for Morgana.
Nairo, yeah, why is Morgana second place? what how did this happen? How did they let this happen? Even the Karma beating out all of the carries besides, weirdly enough, the Olaf. You're looking at the damage chart, right? Damage dealt to champions.
Yep. Yep. That's total damage.
That is one of the most interesting charts that I've ever seen at the end of a game.
Yeah. I mean, Nairo did find himself quite a few kills there. The pool was doing a lot of work. Yeah, 6-4 and 14 on the Morgana. That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
For that
good game coming out from him.
So, guys, we are going to go to break, but again, you do not want to miss this. We are at a match point. Dragons looking to end out the series with one more victory to take it and lock down their spot in final. So you do not want to miss it. While we are on break, make sure to go ahead and vote for your player of the game. We are going to set that poll up very soon. So make sure you go and vote for who you think deserves player of the game. Guys, it's been a hell of a series, but we still have potentially 3 more games, potentially 1 more game. It could be done and all over with 1 more if the Dragons decide to do that, but Phantoms need to answer back right now. They need to figure it out because it's a lot of effort. 10 weeks of regular seasons, and it could all just be dashed away like that in 1 more game.
So we'll have to come back and see how this series ends up. Gonna need the Phantoms to take another break, do another reset. Maybe they can push a bit further this time, manage to claw their way back into 1 game. Here's hoping for them.
Yep. We'll see you after the break, guys.
Legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, relentless you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, all running to smoke when the fire is fierce. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die, die, die. Legends never die. They're written down in eternity, but you'll never see the price it costs. The scars collected all of their lives. When everything's lost, they pick up their hearts and avenge defeat. Before it all starts, they suffer through harm just to touch a dream. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name?
All right, guys, welcome back to the 2020 LAS Summer Playoffs. We are about to get things kicked off for game number 3, and Dragons currently sitting at that match point, looking to finish things off and lock themselves into that finals spot. Currently over on the other side of things, I believe the Spartans are also up 2-0 right now. So, could potentially be a Dragons and... Spartans final. My apologies. Just a quick little brain link there. Before we get into pick and ban for game number 3, we are going to go ahead and announce our player of the game, and you guys voted at home. And it's going to be, of course, Nairo on that Morgana, going 6-4 and 14. Super impressive stuff there. I mean, other than those 2 bindings we saw hit the minions there in the bot lane, other than that, he was on point hitting those plays.
Yeah, those bindings set up a ton of plays later in the game that just were absolutely beautiful throughout. So many good picks came from his ability to land those onto key targets. Probably allowed his team to end the game a good 5 to 10 minutes earlier than they otherwise would have. So well-deserved MVP there. Well played by him throughout the entirety of that game. Assuming we ignore those 2 missed bindings. But no one's perfect, right, Nairo?
But it looks like we are almost ready to go. I just need the spec link, and I believe after that we can get things started and see what the Phantoms have to say after those 2 games. Obviously showing a lot more life in game number 2. They were able to find the ace, they were able to find some more objectives, but Dragons are just so damn strong, work so damn well as a team, and really showing why they're the first place team coming into these playoffs. So we'll see. Maybe the Phantoms come back. Maybe they take it to a game 4, potentially a game 5. That would be some crazy stuff to see. But we'll have to see how it unravels on the Rift as we get into this potentially last one here.
It'd be nice to see. The one thing that the Phantoms can safely say is that there was no main champion or part of that draft that went terribly for them, right? They don't have to completely rework their entire idea of the draft phase going into this game. The first game, that was absolutely true. They did not draft properly. They got out-picked at almost every role. In this situation, there was no champion, there was no player that was just completely and totally stand out above the rest. So you can at least breathe a sigh of relief on that aspect. Make sure you do the same thing. You don't make the same mistakes from game 1. So hopefully we'll be able to see them take a better positioning in the early game of this next fight.
And I'm seeing in chat there, Axe is asking me what champ he wants him to play.
I mean, what champion are you gonna ask for?
What do you think? What do you like? Come on.
Is there anything other than Heimerdinger that you like to see? No. It's obviously gonna be Heimerdinger.
Yeah, come on, Axe. You know me. You know I love seeing that dong. We got to see there was a dong in the other matchup there too over on.
Yeah, and it won.
And they won too, so now I get Spartans at 2-0 as well too. So 2 potential match points up right now. Could be the series right here. So both Phantoms and Gators need to respond right now. There is no more wiggle room. There's no more figuring things out. This is it right now. If they don't get it pulled together, that's gonna be the season. So hopefully
we do see them manage to pull something out, fix up some issue that they've been having. Unsure at this point in time what that might be. Hoping that they or their coach is able to figure it out for themselves. So hopefully we'll just head into this. His team won't let him play Heimerdinger.
Oh, that's so sad. Come on, he's a good champ.
Yeah, definitely a viable champion and high contention in the pro scene. I don't see anything that's wrong with that pick in any way, shape, or form. Come on, Dragons.
He's, you know what? As squishy as it can be, and it's very easy for dive champions to just get in his face. I think gap closers is really just it's game over for Heimerdinger. The thing is, though, if you're able to set up your turrets for your team around those objectives, it just offers so much pressure and so many ways to just melt down Barons and Dragons. That's really where a lot of his power comes from, especially in those games where you're dealing with gap closers. So if they are to pick Heimerdinger, that is my suggestion. Get roaming with your jungler, get set up on those objectives. That's really where his power shines.
You heard it here first from the Heimerdinger master.
I am 9,000 away from hitting 500k on Heimer.
Oh man,
we're almost there.
What are you doing casting? Go play.
Listen, I will say I got a win. I acquired the pool party Heimerdinger skin. And
nice.
I'm very, very grateful for that. But I gotta say, we gotta win. First game played with the skin, we gotta win with it. So that's all I need to make myself happy. But I think we are ready to go. So let's give the players the green light, and we can hop into the pick and ban for game number 3.
Wonderful. Let's get in there.
Let's see what these guys have to offer. This draft is going to be so clutch and so necessary to make sure the Phantoms have exactly what they need, and make sure to ban out those scary picks on the other side of the Dragons. But looks like we're just waiting on the Phantoms here to get going, and we're gonna see what is being played here for. Potentially, in the Dragons' mind, they want it to be the last game. Phantoms obviously want to push this a couple more games. We'll see if they can get that reverse sweep, bring it to a game 5. But let's
Most exciting outcome.
Let's see what these guys got in store for us. And obviously, I think we're gonna see that Varus ban come out again. I'm wondering if they do decide to take the Karma off the board. High Reef has been just causing hell up there. We saw the Shen start to come back as soon as he started getting those damage items on him. But Karma's he's been an absolute pain in the ass for the Phantoms this series.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, instinctively you don't want to necessarily ban something that hasn't been the thing that's rolling over your team, but maybe just like how much pressure High Reef is able to put out in that top lane and prevent any form of ganks coming to that lane is something that you want to just get rid of. Or maybe you look for a champion that's able to go toe-to-toe with that Karma in terms of sustain, in terms of wave clear, and in terms of range. So we'll have to see what they decide to pull out as the answer to that Karma, whether it is that ban or it is a specific champion that they think is going to be able to have a chance against it. So hopefully this draft will start soon, and we'll be able to find out what the Phantoms' plan is for trying to get this to go to Game 4.
I mean, Given was starting to roll on that Olaf. It was a little unfortunate because we did see a lot of wasted time there waiting in bushes. But was still able to pull off some plays. That ult by him was actually super nice on the Urgot ult to counter that. So might see Olaf being picked up for him again. I'd just like to see some more roams and more commitment to those ganks. That's what we've been seeing from the Dragons. Again, able to pull the trigger on those ganks, able to commit as a squad, and that's really what has been getting them ahead and rolling these games over the Phantoms. So that's what we need. We need more cohesiveness from the side of the Phantoms. And immediately the Karma ban coming out from them.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, it's a valid answer. I don't think I would want to face off against it if I was the Obelisk. It's been 2 games in a row that you've just had a terrible time up there against a champion who you really just can't do anything against. You're not gonna hard lose, but you're never gonna win. So just take it off the table. Send the Dragons back to the drawing board, make them figure out what to do, put the onus on them to find something new to deal with whatever the Phantoms might throw at them in that top lane or throughout the map. And we will see again the Varus ban. Dragons still sticking to the same likely 3 bans they have been throughout this entire series.
Yeah.
I suspect Ornn will be that next one. See no reason not to.
I think your crystal ball is going to be pretty accurate there.
There it is.
It's one of Obelisk's mains. He's so good on that Ornn, so there's no reason not to ban it, as he can be such a massive threat up there if the Ornn goes in his hands, but That's exactly why Dragons have banded out every single game so far.
Yeah, and the thing about Ornn as well is not just how strong he is as a champion, it's how strong his item upgrades are. It gives an extra, 1,000 gold to each member of your team throughout. And there's the Morgana ban as the last one. That's a very reactive draft coming in from the Phantom so far, and I like it. I like the fact that they're taking Dragons off what they've been using. I mean, yes, Dragons might have something else up their sleeves, and they most likely do. That is not their only team comp that they have picked out for themselves. It's the
Guess
Yuumi.
what slips through the cracks, though? It's the kitty cat Yuumi.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And I
All right,
honestly, the
so-
last time I saw a Yuumi get played in the LAS was you, Bartowski. That's the last time I've seen it slip through. You did a hell of a job on it too.
Since.
And it's been permabanned ever since. Like, I have not seen the Yuumi get through, even in solo queue games, for quite some time. I wonder how it will go bot lane, considering there is the Leona hover coming through here for the Phantoms, and that Zenith Blade we've seen on both sides of these teams, really, really being huge for these engages, and that can be very scary when you are 1.5 champions down in that bot lane.
Yeah, and I suspect that we'll likely see Ezreal being the pickup with that Yuumi, as is often the second pick here. Also will be a good pick into Leona because of the extra mobility. The question is, are the Dragons going to just lock that in before the second ban wave to make sure that they get it? Or are they going to try to go for other high priority picks, such as a strong top laner to stick on or a strong jungler to stick on? There's a lot of good options. Ooh.
That's a good option there for the bot lane. And, we could see the Twitch come through, but there is the potential for the horse-cat combo on the Dragons.
Oh.
But we could see the Hecarim. That's going to be the Twitch picked up there. And another pick here before we get into those bans, the Jarvan. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Cataclysm plus the final chapter from Yuumi. That's a lot of lockdown potential for the Dragons to be thrown.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the wombo. So the nice thing is you've got Twitch to give that Yuumi some extra invisibility, and you can start shooting skill shots, including the last chapter, out of invisibility.
That's so
or you can.
balanced.
I know it's a little disgusting. Or you can hop onto that Jarvan and be part of the hard engage portion of your team, and just hop on, hop in, send out that crazy amount of AoE damage and CC. Veigar going to be a really good ban from the side of the Phantoms. I think, maybe Axard wasn't thinking of playing it, but the Veigar would have been a very strong pick with what has already been put onto the table. Jarvan, Cataclysm into a Veigar box, into a Veigar W, those are all incredibly good layered abilities that are all going to be very strong working together. So good to get that off the table. Mordekaiser as a response. Mordekaiser is actually a pretty decent pick into the Yuumi because you could use your ultimate on whoever Yuumi is stuck to and just pull them off. So it leaves a Yuumi just kind of sitting around doing nothing in the meantime. So nice to see that off the table, a smart ban away. Set going to be the response from the side of the Phantoms. Just a generally good ban in general. I mean, Set's a strong champion. He always will be, I'm sure. And High Reef has shown a lot of prowess on that champion. Now that you've banned away his karma, he's going to have to pick up something else. So, Set is a very realistic champion, especially with Yuumi on your team. I don't know of the viability of Aatrox these days. I haven't really been keeping up with the top lane champion pool, but Aatrox was for a long time a very common pickup with the Yuumi. Urgot going to be picked away from Axard there.
You know what I do like to see, though, from the Phantoms? The fact that you have that Zac engage and the Leona to follow up. The bullet times from Misfortune can be so potent in this, considering the fact that you have such a big front line to kind of lock down these members. Of course, you have to be wary of that Jarvan diving onto the Misfortune before anything happens. But if the Phantoms are ever able to set up a nice front line for this Misfortune to pop up with bullet time, it could be really, really good for the Phantoms. However, Dragons have a lot of wombo combo coming through already.
Yeah, that's a good point. We did kind of gloss over those first three picks from the Phantoms. Leona, Zac, Misfortune is such an incredible wombo combo. I love it. But we're seeing so much team fight potential picked by both teams. Twitch, Yumi, Jarvan, Kennen, or if Oriana gets locked in, that's just it. That's just so. That's the possibly the most wombo you can get on a team. Trundle instead going to be picked for
Trundle,
top.
I want to say, and then probably Axe on
Yeah?
the Kennen. We've seen it before. We've seen the bans actually been directed to Axe's Kennen in the mid lane. So
That's true.
we'll probably see that come out. And of course, as soon as the dragons start hitting their level 6s, Slicing Maelstrom is going to be just so devastating if the Phantoms get caught out and clumped up. This is a game where they have to play very smart. Phantoms do have a very, very good comp going into the dragons, but have to be, again, very wary of that wombo combo.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pick your team fights very carefully. Watch for flanks, watch for cooldowns. Make sure teleport's not up. Ooh, Syndra gonna be the last pick locked in here for the side of the Phantoms onto Blunky.
So what do you do with the
very
Kennen
powerful
when
pick.
he goes to ult you? You just
Yeah,
just take him off the map very,
push him
very
away.
quickly. So that's you know what, that's a not so bad pick there, being on the Syndra. You're gonna have to get those levels and get those items to in order to one shot that Kennen before he's able to do that massive damage with his ultimate and get those members of the Phantoms locked down. But if they're able to pop the Kennen before the fight breaks out, that's gonna be it. Same goes with the Twitch. If they're able to find those big damage dealers before the majority of the ults come out, it could be very, very good for the Phantoms.
Yeah, there's a lot of pick potential for their team between the CC, the long range engage from Zac, the CC from Leona, the and then just how strong Syndra and Urgot are at landing those picks between their ultimates. So definitely going to be some interesting pre-team fight setup, and actual team fights are going to be just so explosive from both sides here, as so much CC and just raw damage comes out from either side.
Yeah, let's see the element on over to the client. Pretty easy to tell where champs are going to be going this game, but
Yeah.
able to see where they are all finalized out. I can't see Trundle in the mid lane.
No, I could see Trundle in the jungle and Jarvan top, so that is the one small unknown. It's most likely going to be the reverse of that, though. I can't imagine wanting to send Jarvan up into an Urgot. I don't think that's a matchup that Jarvan wins,
No, I don't believe it is either.
but we'll see what High Reef decides he wants to do.
Still
He's got
gonna
it
be
in
a
his
tough
power.
matchup for Trundle, though, with Urgot's little bit of poke that he has on him.
Yeah,
he's
there
able
it
to
is.
get some chunks out of High Reef. But
Yeah, but at least Trundle has that sustain built into his kit, so it will actually be possible for him to survive that poking, unlike Jarvan, who does not have any amount of sustain built in and would just be taking it and having to teleport back on cooldown pretty much.
lots of good stuff from the Phantoms. They have a lot of engage. They have a lot of lockdown potential, which can set up the Syndra and Misfortune very, very nicely to be popping off lots of damage from the backline. Of course, you got to protect that backline, so it either needs to be defensive maneuvers coming out from the Phantoms to make sure that Misfortune and Syndra stay alive so they can get out their damage, or they need to be engaging, making these first moves, and taking out the dragons before they can really do anything in these fights.
The question is, how is Given going to play this early game? Is he going to go for aggressive ganking onto the Trundle and Kennen, who, while they have some maneuverability, they don't have a great amount of escape. Even the bot lane, getting onto that Twitch should be fairly easy for somebody with such incredibly long engage, and when you have a Leona as well for the follow-up. I mean, honestly, all of these lanes for the side of the Phantom are going to be really good at following up on the CC coming out from Zac. Or is he going to try to power farm up to level 6 and just start trying to steer this game into team fight territory and pray that they're able to get, as you said, that pick prior to the team fight and, supply their own AoE damage that they also have with that misfortune. And, Syndra, to some degree, yes, her ultimate is a single target and does incredible burst damage, but all of her other abilities bring out a pretty good amount of AoE. If that enemy team ends up stacking, you're going to be able to just tear through them with all of your abilities and stun up everyone. So, going to be quite explosive.
Absolutely, but we want to send it to you guys back home. Who do you think is going to win game number 3? Poll is going live right now, so make sure to get those votes in before the poll closes. It's going to be open for 3 minutes, so let us know who you think is coming away with the win. Will the Phantoms be able to take it to a game 4, or are the Dragons going to just end it now and punch their ticket to the finals? We're going to have to find out in about 3.5 minutes, as we're just waiting for a spectator delay. And while we're going, I'll just want to remind everybody to head on over to our Instagram, LAS_esports, to check out our giveaway that we're doing right now. It is for 20 RP. Sorry, not 20. $20 USD in RP.
Big difference.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference. You're not doing much with 20 RP, I can tell you that. But $20 USD for the first place and $10 USD for the second place in RP. So head on over there, make sure to like the post, tag your friends, and check out our bio for ways to get additional entries into the draw. We're going to be announcing our winners next Tuesday during the finals. So make sure to be there to see who wins that. But we're in our final countdown now. We're going to see if the Phantoms are able to pull things back. I have my hopes for them, but Dragons have just been looking so damn strong. There are lots of variables that can go into this one. Lots of requirements that need to be met by the Phantoms in order to come on top of these fights that we've already discussed. So hopefully they're able to fulfill those needs, and we'll see. We'll see if they're able to pull a game back here.
Yeah, I think the Phantoms have set themselves up in a really great position going into this game. I think that this is one of their best drafts they've had so far. So I am, more confident for them to win than any other game. But you absolutely cannot come close to discounting the Dragons. They did get the Yumi. Axford has Kennen, who he has shown a high ability on. It's still going to be an uphill battle for them no matter what. But they have set themselves up for victory. If they're going to do it, this is the one to do it. Obviously, both literally and figuratively. I mean, if they lose this, they are out. But this is the one. This is the match that you've set yourself up for success. And you gotta have faith in yourself. You gotta clear your head. Come into this as calmly as possible, but with enough ferocity. Ugh, to fight for your life and claw back into a devastating early start to this series. You've got a completely reverse sweep here. This is do or die. Your tournament life is on the line. Good luck to them. I hope that they play to the best of their ability.
As do I. Both of these teams have been working so damn hard throughout the split. And there's a reason why they're in the playoffs. They have earned their way here, really been grinding it out, and it's so awesome to see the progression of these teams through the past 10 weeks. We do have the votes result back in 100% for the Dragons. the faith is in what they've been seeing, but obviously the draft and our predictions, we are still giving some hope over the Phantoms, and I really do hope they pull through. But again, Dragons have been so dominating, so damn strong, and just really working very, very well as a team. So let's see if the Phantoms can follow up and maybe overtake them in this one.
As we head into the last section of that spectator delay, there is not much more else to say. Hopefully, I suppose we could talk about the beginning of this game and where we might see these junglers send their focus.
You know what? I was gonna say something about that because you were mentioning it. If
Yeah,
anything,
go for
I
it.
would say Given needs to be making his way between mid and bot. If he's ganking bot, hopping on that Leona Misfortune early on in this game, that's where the big damage is going to be coming from. And the fact is he's going to
Absolutely.
have that Yumi there to hop between him and Twitch as well too. So I think that might be the ideal play here for the Given.
You mean for Excels?
XLs, my apologies, yes. But
Yes.
even for Given as well too, to be following up on that bot lane, the amount of engage between the Zac Leona is
Yeah.
still a lot, especially on the Twitch if he's by himself. Yumi doesn't really have that much follow up until her level 6 with that final chapter, so
And especially because in that bot lane, if you manage to kill that Twitch, then you pretty much guaranteed kill the Yumi.
Yeah.
So that's a free 2-for-1 for you right there. So really, I expect to see both junglers putting a lot of focus into this bot lane.
yeah, it's gonna be a bloody bot lane for sure as we head on over to the what is gonna go down. And here's another point too. The Phantoms are on the red side, so there is the potential for Zac to be jumping over from the tri-bush there. That's a really great spot to just set up and make great picks. There's so many times that we've seen Zacs do that, flying over the wall, locking them down. And again, we might see Given making his way down there, blowing some flashes here and there. But if he keeps his focus there, there's not really going to be very far for that Twitch and Yumi to go, considering, Yumi doesn't run flash. She's got that exhaust ignite right now. Yeah, so it's solely relying on that Twitch to make sure he doesn't get caught, making sure Juanito Soul gets out of there before the massive amount of CC follows up.
Yeah, and I suspect that we'll see Given opt for a very early sweeper so that he can make sure that he's able to get to those lanes, get to, as you said, that tri-brush without being spotted out by the enemy laner, or at least knowing that he has not been spotted out by the enemy lane. That sweeper won't necessarily deny vision, but it will do a good job of telling you if there was vision.
Well, I think we're both paused at 5 seconds here. Ready to
Indeed, we are.
Hell yeah. Game number 3
Count it
coming
down.
to you right now. 3, 2, 1. Let's see what these teams have to pull out on this one. And let's see if the Phantoms can take it to a game 4. This is potential match point here for the Dragons. And of course, they're going to be looking to end things off and punch their ticket to the finals. Let's see if they're able to do it, or if the Phantoms are going to answer back with, like you said, probably one of the best drafts they've had this entire series.
Absolutely, yes. And to note, there is a small teleport difference because Axrid is running that teleport, whereas Blunky has opted instead for that 1v1 power with the Ignite. So we'll have to see. It really is going to depend on whether Blunky is actually able to land a solo kill or not in this lane. I really, for his sake and for his team's sake, I hope he does. Because if we make it to late game and he is not decidedly ahead, that cannon teleport is going to cause so much extra pressure. And yeah, we do see Zac drop a ward onto his own red buff, and then go back to base, pick up that sweeper, and head towards his blue buff. Interesting to note that both junglers are starting on this bottom half of the map, despite, as we mentioned, the likelihood of them wanting to gank for their bottom lanes. So I guess that will be slightly delayed. Instead, we'll have to wait until several minutes in. And maybe we'll end up with a top lane skirmish instead. Both Urgot and Trundle are on the low range side of things, and both have the ability to enable a gank. Trundle with his pillar, Urgot with his dash and flip. So we'll have to see what the Excels and Given decide to do with this early game. We see Excels already onto his blue buff, whereas Given has decided to opt for clearing out his blue side jungle a little bit more, trying to get himself maybe a tiny bit of a farm advantage instead. So we'll have to see if Excels takes advantage of the fact that Given is going a bit slower through his own jungle. Obviously, he will not know that until such a time as some vision is granted. It looks like he might be on his way towards Given's red buff, though.
Taking a bit of chunky nubs. Nubs is actually going to take the worst end of this one. But like you said up top, Might see that gank in the top lane, and Obelisk, the one being jumped on the flag and drag. There's Urgot's. Oh, a little fancy footwork there from Obelisk. That was very well done. Flag and Drake comes through, but Urgot dashes through, flips Draven back, and just flashes out for good measure.
Yeah, that was a nice buffering of spells. I'm not sure that he needed the flash, but because he burned it, a nice buffer again. I really like how that's really well played from him to make sure that he's able to not get caught up in that Jarvan knockup, and instead able to just walk right out of that and deny any extra pressure. Because of that, Given was able to pick up not one but 2 extra camps on top of XL's and will be ahead in terms of experience, at least for now. We'll have to see what he's able to do with that. It looks like he's heading back towards bot, likely going to just be picking up that Scuttle Crab. I don't suspect he will be looking for an early game gank just yet, but we'll see what's in the cards for him.
6 is the magic number that we gotta watch out for, because both teams have really, really massive team fight, and like we were saying, so like that wombo combo from either side is just so potent for whoever's able to pull it off first. But maybe something coming through mid as Astrid.
Oh no!
He's gonna get hit a little bit by the Zac, but nothing much is gonna be.
Bot lane though.
Bot lane has some action. Actually, not looking for it, but it's mid where we're going to turn our attention back, because here comes High Reef. Nice little pill there to lock down Blunky. Electrocute comes down, able to lock down the Cinder as well too. But yeah, a lot of trade on to Blunky there as even coming back on the side too. That's the flag and drag as well. Taking a lot of damage on the Zac, more than one expected. The flash in, holds him back together. The flash from Axrid to get him out, and Dragons almost overplayed their hand there.
Yeah, well played from Given to recognize that he can turn around and maybe burn a summoner, if not get the actual kill itself. So burning the flash on the cannon means he's all that more vulnerable to ganks from the Zac in the near future. So really well played from him to push those limits and make sure that he gets as much as possible on his way out. Flash for flash, you always take that as a jungler versus a mid laner. That is absolutely worth it. And it also allows Blunky to stay a little bit longer in lane and pick up some CS, but some trading in the top lane.
Yeah, Obelisk for the level up, however, it doesn't matter because High Reef just takes the solo kill and beats the crap out of the poor Urgot with the, what, baton? No. I want to call it baton. I don't know. That was actually surprising.
It's a club.
It's a club, thank you. My brain flipped out.
Yeah, no problem.
But, yeah, that was actually surprising. Urgot had the level over the Trundle, but
yeah, it's just it's the fact that Trundle's Q at the level that it was, it increases his attack damage by 30 and decreases his opponent's by 15. And you know that difference, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're only sitting on 90, 80 attack damage, that actually is a pretty big difference. You end up with almost double your enemy's attack damage for that period of time, and it makes those trades just go so much more hugely in your favor. And he's able to pick up that solo kill for it, which is just so wonderful. And that's likely not going to be a one-time thing, as Trundle has now leveled up to level 6, and he gets a second ability that will allow him to steal stats from his opponent. It's just going to be all that much harder for Obelisk to stand up to Trundle in this lane and even consider those 1v1s at any point in time.
Oh, almost finding that right there, but just going a smidge wide. Roaming off, looking to clear out some vision. Again, I have to be extremely careful with this. Is the dive potential?
Yeah, Leona has her E back up. Oh.
We're looking for it. A little bit of trade from Brave Carcass onto the Twitch, but I don't know how much you really want to chase like that in the face of the Twitch. Is gonna lose a decent amount of his health bar there.
Yeah, the Twitch poison, it really doesn't seem like much, but it does build up. It ends up doing 60 damage over the course of 6 seconds. It's true damage too. So you can consider that to be close to 120, as most champions will have somewhere between 40 to 60% of physical damage reduction. So that effectively is an extra 100 damage done from just his passive because you walked at him for such a long period of time. Yeah, so, you know, gotta be careful there. You're already getting kind of low in this lane, and Yuumi brings so much extra sustain, you can't afford to be giving away trades like that.
All back in the top lane, Hyri's taking a couple chunks off the Urgot, trying to put back in the tower range, but it's a little too far. Obelisk feeling some decent trade there, but again, that sustain was, that's Trundle taking a couple chunks out of that Urgot too.
Yeah, that was like a trade back and forth. We will likely see the Trundle end up in the advantage at the end of this, after these minions have died and he gains some of the health through his passive. However,
bot lane, that is XL's. He's going in. He's got the ultimate, the flash out of Brave Carcass, but the Cataclysm comes down. The kill's given over to one of your soul, and Nubs, oh, just barely gonna get out of there. That Yuumi Q just touching the minion instead of the Leona, but very well done there by the Dragons.
yeah, and that's gonna spell the first Drake of the game for them. It is that Cloud Drake, which in my opinion is one of the best Drakes to have a single one of. Every other Drake, you know, it gives some okay stats, a little bit of regen here and there. 10% extra cooldown reduction on your ultimate though is so surprisingly big, and
Jarvan.
it's gonna be a great yeah. All of these strong ults, and even
The top Obelisk gobbles down Hyrule. Goodbye, Trundle, as he gets his revenge solo kill back onto the enemy top lane.
Yeah, High Reef had no had no business being in that duel with the Urgot when he was already so low on health.
One Nitro Soul just accidentally flashed in place. That is very unfortunate. I don't know if the Phantoms are aware of that happening because he was a little bit out of range. He might have been out of vision. However, that's still super unfortunate not to have, especially the fact that Zach's probably going to be bottom in the next few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that you're going to want to take advantage of. Assuming, of course, that the Phantoms saw that go down. I wasn't aware. Was it within vision of the enemy there?
That's what I'm thinking. It might have been just out of vision for the Phantoms, as Twitch and Yuumi were back close to the turret, and Misfortune and Leona were by their turret picking up some CS. So they might not know that's going to be down, but I don't think that's going to stop the Jack game from happening if he makes it down here. Just because that much effort for only just hope to make it out of those.
Yeah, that's just going to be something that, you know, presumably Zach is going to go for that gank either way, right?
Yeah.
The lack of flash, and he's already down here.
He's down here, yeah, he's ready to go. But knowing that Zach is down there, Harold is going to get started off.
Yeah, unfortunately Zach decides not to go for that dive there. I mean, that's probably the smart move. You don't really want to dive against a Yuumi who has ultimate up. You're not going to really be successful too much of that time. So instead, it's a little bit of pressure gained for their bot lane, but in exchange, the Rift Herald does go down for the side of the Dragons.
That is actually going to be...
Oh, no.
Oh, Twitch is spotted out, but that's about time as the final chapter is going down, but the slicing Maelstrom from Axrid coming in out of nowhere. The Ignite is taking down Nairo. Tries to save him, but no. Nubs gets one last little stun, but double kill for Axrid. A wonderful roam from him and a wonderful cannon ult. That was so well played. Now the Dragons back to Dragon stuff. As High Reef getting shut down a little bit. The Urgot ult does just barely miss as Shelly's going into that top turret. Gets a couple plates for the Dragons, but not much after that. But damn, Axe difference is just been a highlight of this series. He's been making some massive plays, and what a great little pickup there as he makes his way down to the bot lane. Gets himself a couple kills too.
Yeah, that was a really great proactive roam from him. They saw the Zac show himself on that ward, so he did come down to try to counteract that pressure. Instead, just manages to pick himself up a quick kill, or couple kills, I guess, onto the side of the Phantoms through some extra engage from the invisible Twitch and the Yuumi ultimate, locking them down, doing so much damage. Beautiful play from them as a team, and really puts them just that much farther ahead. They're only sitting at 1,000 gold, so this is the smallest gold lead that we have seen at this time in the game from the side of the Dragons. That is very good for the Phantoms. It shows that they are slowly improving. They have, in previous game, they were able to do a little bit with the small, or rather medium gold disadvantage they had.
We're going to have something break out in this bot lane. Both junglers are
Oh,
down.
you think?
Solar Flare's available. Bullet time's almost off of cooldown. Twitch and Yuumi ulti available. So is the Jarvan, but the flag and drag over the wall. And that's going to be enough for the Phantoms to say, no, thank you, we're out. That's cool. Oh, so close. So close to something.
Just everything's just hanging on like a razor's edge at this point. Just so close to everything blowing up, but not quite going to happen just yet. Still holding on to those cooldowns, holding on to those abilities.
Where did he end up? Jarvan's down in the bot lane.
I think Urgot interrupted it. It's now than a 1v1.
Oh, he's back up top.
It's
so close. We lost track of him. That was. We saw the TP coming through. It's like, but yeah, nice little pickup there by High Reef. Gets back into his top lane. Gets the revenge kill back onto Obelisk, because the top laners are dishing out quite a bit. Turret plating goes down, but I think High Reef is going to be able to pick up first turret for his team right here. Up in that top
yeah.
lane.
The cannon.
But it's a big fight down top. It's the bullet time coming through, but Juanito's soul is just too damn strong. That true damage ticking down from the poison. He's going to get the reset on his invisible. That's a double kill there for the Twitch. He gets another reset, and it looks like it's going to be a triple as the Zac passive will be popped, and they're just going to go ahead and finish off these blobs. Probably going to gift it over. Yeah, so a soft triple kill picked up there for Juanito soul on the Twitch.
Yeah, and so Twitch is now sitting 1,000 gold ahead of that Misfortune, who has now completed that Essence Reaver, but Twitch is going to be able to go back to base, pick up his Blade of the Ruin King with his 1,900 gold he has accrued. I'm going to quickly clear this wave first, it seems, and then we'll be able to get back to base and do that. Nairo also sitting on a solid 700 gold. That means he's got enough to back for that Athene's Unholy Grail. Maybe we'll be bold enough to pick himself up a what's the ring called?
So that's Nubs looking for it to slow from the Misfortune 8. The flash in actually from Brave Carcass. They very much want this, but I don't think they'll be able to find anything. As looks like Juanito's turned around. The heal is there. The heal from Misfortune as well too. But here comes Jarvan. XL's in with the Cataclysm. They're looking for it. Brave Carcass isn't the one in trouble as Yuumi dives on to XL's. That's going to be a kill gifted over to their jungler, and it's Nubs in a bit of trouble. Solar Flare will zone that Twitch off from this fight. Blunky is down here. That will be the Cinder ult. Trade kill there between the ADC and the mid laner as a bunch of bodies dropping in that bot lane, but I believe it is the Dragons that come out on top. A 1 for 3 and a turret up in that top lane as High Reef's going to go ahead and pick up that turret for the... No, sorry, the Dragons. Sorry, we're back and forth.
So Obelisk did manage to pick up the first turret of the game there, but unfortunately sacrificed his life to do so. High Reef was just wailing on him underneath his own turret, trying to get him to not get that first turret. He does manage to pick it up, so, kudos to him there, but probably not worth it, especially considering that High Reef, with his advantage, was able to just push through the lane and pick up his own turret.
Actually, getting jumped on, but I don't know if he really wants this. Kennen has 3 levels on him, has the ultimate available, so...
Yeah, just gonna be enough to pressure him off that turret. Blunky does now have that Luden's Echo, which is pretty good power spike to have at this point in time. So should be feeling pretty good about that. Means that he's able to probably blow up almost anyone on the enemy team, save for maybe Trundle, who is, just a little on the tanky side.
You might see him dive onto Astrid.
Oh boy.
Is still available, but Zac is coming around here as well too. Leonis lying in wait, and actually might know something's up as there goes Nub, but that's a flash in, actually going aggressive. The slicing Maelstrom will take out Misfortune, and now XL's is here to follow up. Nub's possibly in a bit of trouble. XL's is there to help out, but it's a double kill going over to Axrid. Axrid does end up going down, but there's the final chapter from Yumi as Monito Soul is here with Nairo, and that's Leona going down as well. Dragons turn this right back around on to the Phantoms, and wait a minute. Even that's not your base. Oh no, he's gonna go down as well too. Juanito Soul picking up another kill, his 7th of the game here at 17:45.
That was so close to a well-executed turret dive there, but unfortunately, Brave Carcass starts the turret dive himself, lands an auto attack onto that cannon, who then flashes in his face, pops his ultimate, takes 2 or 3 turret shots, and goes down for his troubles. So just a little bit too impatient from Brave Carcass there, pulls the trigger just a second too early, doesn't let the Leona or the Zac tank up those turret shots, and because of that, my goodness, unfortunately for them, it goes terribly, and they end up in a very, what was that at the end of the day, a 2 for 4?
I want to say
no, it can't be for 4.
Leona went,
but it wasn't very good at the end of either way.
Yeah, it was not ideal for the Phantoms. Misfortune getting tested off a bit there. We're not going to see another dragon for a minute, so maybe some potential team fights about to break out in a minute, as it will be a Mountain Soul this game, but we're seeing that gold lead again. It's almost 5k up in favor of the Dragons. And
yeah. Oh, is this a bait here though?
It will be the Herald going over. Not too sure who's got it, but XL's drawn in by the Urgot ult. There he goes, but a nice slicing Maelstrom again.
Oh
my god, the axe diff is in effect as the cannon comes through, picks up another double kill with his ultimate, and now it's bot lane. Oh, I mean, Soul getting a little bit cheeky, but guess who's lying in wait? Just where we said we'd find him. Even right there over the wall by the tri-bush.
Yeah, unfortunately he will not be going for that gank, a little bit out of the range. But so the Trundle does pick up that Rift Herald. I suspect they'll either be using this either for dragon pressure, since it is spawning in 10 seconds, or he'll just use it for his own purposes, get himself an extra turret for his troubles.
I was almost waiting for Axford to go in, but he does not quite have the ult, so respecting the fact that those ultis from Brave Carcass and Nubs are still available, just going to play it safe, go and reset.
Yeah, it goes back to base. Should have an okay amount of gold. Yeah, okay, he has 2,000 gold to spend, so I believe he's working towards a Rylaze there? No, that could actually not be a Rylaze. It's the other item that I always forget the name of, Spirit Visage?
Not Spirit Visage, but Morello's going to be coming through for him as well.
No, it's not Spirit Visage either. It's
Morello's, but we got a bit of a fight going on. That will be Jargon going on all the blast. Going comes through the final chapter from the Yumi, wanting to Soul going on a killing spree as Brave Carcass will drop. Now XL's going on a Nubs for life, but that kill also going over to One Soul. A lot of damage from that Syndra pop, but Dragons are on the hunt right now.
Yeah, and that Twitch was just able to spray out so much damage from over the wall and just bring everyone down with his Blade of the Rune King and his small amount of crit chance that he has. And Syndra just arriving too late to even consider. Obviously has a lot of damage and was able to chunk out Juanito quite quickly, but not enough to have any form of chance against him. The flash in.
Very risky there, but we see the Herald actually being popped here. Zac is going to go in. He will find the knockup on XL's, trying to find him. The bullet time coming through as well too, doing lots of damage as that turret will go down to Shelly. But now the Slicing Maelstrom's in. The Port about to help him get there, and Axford going on a killing spree. Does not matter. Another double kill for him. That's his 3rd one of the game. And Dragons wipe the Phantoms off the mat, find themselves a 3-for-0 and that mid tower. Obelisk trying his best to find that top turret, but the TP coming through from Axrid is going to force him off of that one. And right now, take a look in base. Blunky is the one in trouble as he's getting chased down and just clunked on the head. Bonk goes the Syndra, and this inhib tower is going to be history.
Yeah, just taking down everything that they can. 22 minutes in, they're breaking down the base already, getting kills inside of the enemy's base.
Looks like the Phantoms might want to turn this one around. They have Obelisk there. Zach is actually going in. A lot of damage coming through. The inhib will still go down. Urgot will find the ulti there. And now it's Yumi all by herself. Nairo will drop as well too. A nice little turnaround. XL also getting very low. That will be the Twitch ultimate popped as the jungler for the Dragons going to be dropped as well too. And a triple actually for the Obelisk. And oh, we're not quite done. The flash out of Twitch to get him back to safety. One Hero Soul trying so hard to be back there. Portabelt there. Oh my goodness, Axford, you're so damn strong. He's going in. Slicing Maelstrom's back off a cooldown. Oh, he goes golden as well too. And he might have a bit of a tough time with Obelisk.
Yeah, Obelisk is just a little too tanky. Just a little bit too much damage at the same time. So I don't think they're going to be able to actually stand up to him, especially with
my goodness. I don't know where that Zenith blade was going, but Obelisk is the strong one here. He's going to have to be the focus for the Dragons because clearly this Urgot is putting in a lot of work for the Phantoms.
Yeah, the Obelisk is definitely their one redeeming grace in this current game.
This is just on a razor's edge. Like, Axford is able to pump out so much damage, and so is Winnie the Soul, but that's Syndra. If they're able to catch out any one of those switchies, oh my goodness, that's Nubs. Caught out by the Cataclysm. Axford there to follow up with the CC. Leona trying to find something, but Nubs will drop to XLs. And another member of the Phantoms drop there.
And Twitch picks up the Runon's Hurricane, so, you know, any chance that they had of winning those clumped up team fights with the Misfortune, Leona, Zach, I feel like those hopes just kind of dashed away.
Oh, but in goes Axford, the final chapter 2. A massive slicing Maelstrom will find Blunky. The bullet time is coming out, but Axford just going to walk up. It is actually a double kill for Nairo. And oh no, goodbye, kitty cat. As Obelisk going on a rampage. Axford now the one in a bit of trouble as he's trying to get away with the knockup from Zach. Urgot follow up the shutdown goal going on Urgot. So damn clutch. In the meantime, though, Trundle pushing in on these towers, getting a big split push off. Juanito Soul will find the kill onto Zach. And now Rat-a-tat-tat he goes as he's popping off his ultimate, forcing off that Urgot. But back on top, look at High Reef go on to this inhibitor. He doesn't care about his life.
He's got Trinity Force, so he's just dishing out so much damage. Oh, gets it.
Just barely gets that inhibitor, but loses his life in the process. However, double inhibs right now for the Dragons at 24 minutes.
Yeah, and that means that the Dragon Soul that's coming up in 1 minute is pretty much guaranteed to be theirs.
Oh god. Cataclysm down. XL's catching Obelisk out. The challenging smite there as well too. However, here comes Blunky. The Cinder ult not able to quite find XL's, but the Zenith Blade going in to flash in. Let's just throw the red buff at him, but you got a Twitch on your tail right now. Blunky will find XL's, but Juanito Soul, I think Leona would have been fine, but gives herself away with that Zenith.
Oh, but Zach's here. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Whew. So Dragons should probably head over towards that spawning Drake in, 30 seconds here, and make sure to pick themselves up that soul. You see, instead they're going to invade it. The action steals that red buff from the Twitch. And they're just looking for kills at this point in time.
Given is in so much trouble. These are the two top damage dealers on the Dragons, and he's trying to bounce up to safety, but locked down by Axford and handed over a kill. Yumi's just there to say, oh, you had damage on you? Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, I'll just heal you up real quick. Don't worry about it.
And High Reef. Oh my gosh, the split push coming out from this Trundle. It's just been devastating. I don't know if Cinder's going to be able to deal with him solo. He does only have armor, not a lot of messages other than his boot, so let's see what comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, that Trinity Force and the Tiamat really means that he's able to just clear out the waves instantly and deal so much damage to turrets.
Oh, able to find this. Twitch is following up. That Runon's going to be putting this forward for Axford. Oh, poor cat. And the final chapter also popped from Yumi, so that is going to be the cat ult down. But Nubs, sorry, not Nubs, High Reef again finding another objective, taking out those towers, sacrificing his life. But I think we know what his goal is here. Take a tower, take an inhib, take as much as you can. It doesn't matter if you die, because right now the Dragons are up 10k gold. They have the soul.
Yeah, finally managed to pick that up on the backside there. So it looks like that it's going to be a pretty easy game for them to close out. They're probably going to try to pick up this Baron first just to make sure that it's as clean as possible. They have made a couple of slightly questionable plays that have allowed the Phantoms to get a little bit more than they should have been able to get, but chances are they're going to be able to close this one out fairly easily. The pressure from those inhibitors being down, although one of them has now respawned, there is still another one that is down, and they are all open. High Reef has no teleport, so he might not edge towards that bottom side, but then again, he has been on crazy split push duty, may decide, Nubs for life, caught out.
Oh, he's in some major trouble. Caught out alongside a nice little switch
good.
lockdown action. Oh, but the final chapter, the Cataclysm, the bullet time is coming through, but the flag and drag on to Brave Carcass is going to be a bit of a trouble to deal with. The GA's there, but that's a slicing maelstrom on to Nubs. That will pop the GA. Obelisk is in the back line looking for this one. Axrid so damn fast with that Yumi, trying to get out, but Brave Carcass in trouble as here comes Juanito Solo following up. The Twitch will go down. Decent amount of shutdown on to the Obelisk.
Oh my goodness.
But the chase on the Axrid does not matter because guess who's pushing again? High Reef there.
Goodness.
He doesn't care about the fights. He's got his eyes focused on one thing and one thing only, and that is towers. That's inhibs, and all he's going to do is push. We see super minions now onto the Nexus turrets here as High Reef pushing in with Axrid and Nairo. The Nexus turret's going down. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop him. High Reef going in. Oh, he might be actually trying to get out.
Are up.
Even's trying to get out as well too. Axrid also given some stuns there, looking for this Trundle as the Solar Flare will just catch the tail end of him, but he's pretty damn fast, and now the focus.
Pretty damn tanky too.
Yes, he is.
I don't think that they get the skill here at all.
Oh no, Blunky's in some trouble to flash in and just takes him out. And back to the push he goes as he's looking for it, but actually charging in on the Brave Carcass. Leona is there trying to slow him down, but here comes Axford as well too. The final chapter, the slicing maelstrom. There goes Brave Carcass. There goes Nebs for life. The Cataclysm comes down, and Obelisk the only one here to defend. Zach trying to get a back off, but he's going to be the only one. The inhibitors are starting to come back, but Obelisk is trying so hard to 1v4 this, but he can't do it. Dragons are on the Nexus. Dragons looking to end. They're looking to make their way to the finals. It's only Given left, but that is the rat-a-tat-tat popped. The Zac blobs are there. They're taken out. The Dragons had those stats, find the ace, find the win, and take the series for their own. Congratulations, Dragons, as they're going to the finals.
Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the whole team. Well played throughout the entire 3 games. Not even like a second of doubt for them. Well, okay, maybe a second of doubt, but overall, very, very well played for them, and just such a clean pull out from them. 3-0, 3 dominant games. Absolutely beautiful. I'm speechless.
Yeah, that was just pure domination there by the Dragons. Hold on, just gotta switch this around super quick because it was Dragons the blue side. But yeah, hell of a game. Axrid on those slicing maelstroms was just everywhere. That was ridiculous.
Wow, those damage numbers. You could see Urgot was like close to having a chance there, but Kennen and Twitch just both out damaging him. So well played.
Yeah, that was just incredible stuff from the Dragons. Just looking so damn dominating. And we're going to flip it on over to the other. We're just going to take a peek over at the other series. And it looks like Spartans have actually taken their series as well, too, which means final's going to be Dragons versus Spartans. Woohoo! That's
spicy.
That's going to be spicy. Of course, we will have our player of the game vote for you guys up right now. And we will be bringing you an interview from a couple of our players while we get ourselves set up over here. So make sure to stick around for that. But yeah, I can do nothing but praise the Dragons right now. They did such an incredible job tonight.
Yeah, well played to them. Really good games overall. Phantoms, they deserve a shout out Maybe if it was best of 7, they would have had a chance. They kept looking better and better every game, but that is just the domination of the Dragons coming out and just rolling over them. Well played to the entire team.
Yeah, that was just incredible stuff. So, guys, that poll is live. Make sure to go and vote for who you think deserves player of the game. And yeah, that was some crazy stuff there for sure. that's that's all I could say.
Yeah, well played. Oh my goodness. Don't even know who deserves player of the game, player of the series either. Like everyone just had such shining moments. High Reef on the Karma looked good, on the Trundle looked great. Just so difficult. But yeah,
Yeah,
just
that was some
this is what happens when you
good
have
stuff.
5 great players all on the same team. You can't decide which one of them is the best.
It's difficult. That's why we let the crowd decide.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Let the crowd speak. Let the crowd voice their opinions. They can do the hard decision instead of us. Thank you guys. We appreciate you taking the burden. Also, gonna give the shout out to Excel who did redeem those 5,000 points for the shout out. Well played to Excels. Very strong series from him, all over the map constantly. Uh, yes, I've said your name. You have been blessed. He played absolutely phenomenally throughout that entire series. His Nunu was clean, his Jarvan was clean. I can't even remember the second game, but he was good on that one too. It was just so well played overall.
yeah, and let's see if we can get both Nairo and Juanito Soul on the line here. Both of them, that bot lane was really something, and honestly, uh, just great stuff from really everybody all over the map. But a lot of great synergy there in the bot lane. It was good stuff. So let's see if we can add them in here. All right. Oh, one. Okay. Gotta add. So if they add us as friends on Discord, then I can add them if you're friends there.
Here, maybe I can help out a little bit with this.
All right. Well, let's see where it is. It looks like those votes are going over to Nairo, though, for player of the game. The poll is just about to close, so make sure to get those last minute votes in there as we are going to see player of the game and then interview a couple of our players. Now, this will be the second player of the game here for Nairo, though, so really,
Yeah.
really good stuff. So let's get that sorted out. So Bartowski, if you want to try and get them on the line, I will get our player of the game ready to go here. Let's see. All right.
If you want to, I could invite you to the Discord and we could have an interview
Yes,
there.
that is totally works. So
Okay.
let's do that. Just toss me an invite.
All right, I'll throw you an invite. Um, maybe it seems not. Oh, well, okay, whatever. Did you get the invite? Seems we might be doing a 3-way interview.
Three-way. How do I add
Yeah.
that? This is Discord. Oh boy. Let's
Oh
see.
yeah.
One. Just want to add
Did you
you.
get it?
I did not. No. Hold on. I can add. There we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. Let's go.
Okay. Just join one of the channels.
Excellent. Excellent. Hello. 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 Hello.
There we
How
go.
is it going? Who do we have on the line? Juanita Soul and Nairo and the Axe Diff himself.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations
Yes, sir.
tonight,
Thank
guys.
you.
You did an incredible job. We Bartowski and I cannot honestly sing enough praises. Like, you guys just kicked absolute ass tonight. Great cohesiveness. What were some of these team comms sounding like? Like, give us a little insight here, because if we were a fly on a wall, I would love to be in that position to hear what was going on, because you guys really pulled through on a lot of team fights so damn well.
Well, we just kind of talk about it mostly bot lane, like me and Nairo. Whenever we want to freeze, push, slow push, and then whenever XLs was just in the jungle trying to get dragons or any objectives, and then mostly after that is just whoever's in the team fight or anything, we just follow up.
Yeah, definitely for team comps. Want to give a big shout out to our coach. He really helps us with team comps. Make sure we're not picking anything stupid. Make sure we're playing shit that we're comfortable with and that we like playing. And I feel like throughout this entire series, not even just this series, but the entire LAS so far, he's definitely helped us a lot, win a lot of games. Probably more than you guys realize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because we were talking about team comps there, and obviously, you know, the Phantoms having probably one of their best drafts throughout the series on this one, but you guys really made a difference in when you were engaging, and again, as a team, as a cohesive unit, really going in hard. We see the cannon from you, Axrid, and of course, I've seen a few bans headed your way. So when this is even hard to even put into words. You know, how was it, you know, being able to pick up that cannon and knowing as a team what you're able to do on that and just making those calls? Who is really the big shot caller here tonight?
Well, usually Excel's shot calls early because he's the jungler, so he just kind of lets us know what's going on and stuff. But later on in the team fights, we kind of just play around my flash, so I can get in on those engages and get a lot of damage out. But I don't know, we didn't really have to try too hard, to be honest. But I don't know, fun time.
Yeah, you guys, you know what? Looked like you guys were having some fun out there. That first game.
Yeah,
What's,
we tried the hardest. Yeah, that was we just wanted to come out, make a statement.
We
We
really
just wanted
did.
to make a statement.
Because both us on the caster desk were absolutely speechless after that one, because it was just so one sided. And even though you guys, you know, picked up those wins, there was a little bit of back and forth in game 2 and game 3, but was
Yeah, I
that
started
just
trolling.
to come?
Yeah, I
Well, a
started
bit of that,
trolling. Simple
but
as
that was just to make a statement. You know, really just, you know, stick your feet in the ground and say, listen, we're here, we're ready to go, and now you guys have punched your ticket to finals. How are you feeling about going against the Spartans next week?
I'm just ready to play against that dog Divine, dude. I'm ready to play this kid, dude. That's all I'm ready for. I'm just
I
ready
think-
for the competition.
I think I'm excited about it because we actually get to play a team that can actually do something against us, and I just think we just have really good synergy. So that's why we were mostly dominating the whole split. But yeah, definitely next week is probably gonna be the most fun out of all of the LAS weeks that we've had.
I like that you're looking at it, that you guys are having fun, and that really makes a great team too. Not only are you, you know, getting along in a professional sense too, and, you know, working well together on the Rift, but if you're able to have fun with it and get along with your teammates, that it really shows how well you guys work together. And last but not least, we got to announce our player of the game, and that's going to be Maxwell coming
Yes,
in again,
sir.
3-23 on the Yumi. How much do you guys think a great support makes on a team?
Oh, it decides
Hey,
the
I
whole
just wanna-
bot lane.
I just want to take this chance to go out and throw out hashtag justice for Nairo. He got completely snubbed from All Stars, and I just want to take this time to let everybody know he got snubbed.
Oh,
Best support in the
man.
league, no doubt, not even close.
Yeah, definitely could not make those plays if I didn't have my support there to help me.
Yeah, you guys got rolling in that bot lane super hard. We saw, you know, especially in the first game though, that Leona Varus, how many times we saw the follow up between. If it was one of you making the decision to go in and the other one following up, it was one or the other, and you guys just work so well together. And I think that's that was a really, really great stuff to see from you guys. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, we'll see you dogs next week, Spartans.
Oh, we're hearing the trash talk come out, but it is going to be a hell of a series as you guys, the Dragons, are going to be facing off against the Spartans next Monday. So best of luck. Best of luck with all your practice and those scrims, and look forward to seeing you guys next week on the Rift.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I think that is going to do it from us here on the bench. Bartowski, what a hell of a series, eh?
That was well played to everyone there, especially shout out to you guys here. Well played. Such a good game. Well-deserved player of the game ×2, Nairo. Congratulations. And we'll see you back here Monday.
All right,
And,
one more quick
should
shout
we-
out to High Reef, bro. Best top player in the league. Also got snubbed from playoffs. All right, I'm
Oh my god.
All right.
man.
That axe diff, though. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Anyways, congratulations to the Dragons as they are going to be making their way to the finals next week against the Spartans. Both teams winning their series 3-0, completely sweeping the enemy. So there's going to be a couple of strong teams next Monday.
Yeah. So well played to those two teams. Well played to the Dragons and to the Spartans, and looking forward to seeing both of them back in a week's time. Looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table. Hopefully it'll be some entertaining games. Make it to Game 5.
Oh, it's going to be finals, baby. You know it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
entertaining. But a couple of housekeeping things before we leave. Again, thank you, everyone, for tuning in, joining us, participating in those polls. Love seeing all the participation from you guys, and we appreciate all the love and support you guys bring to the channel. Of course, tomorrow night will be our premiere semifinal, so make sure to tune in here and over at LAS Esports 2 to check out those semifinals. Will be the Sharks versus the Dragons over here on the main channel, and another Gators Spartan series. Ooh, so get to see how that one's going to turn out over on LAS Esports 2. So make sure to check those out and tune in for those exciting to come series. And last but not least, we have our giveaway going on, so make sure to head over to LAS Esports on Instagram. Like the recent post with the giveaway for your chance to win $20 USD in RP prizing. Second place prizing will also be $10 USD, but all you have to do is like the post, tag a couple friends, and then you can also check out the bio for additional ways for extra entries into the poll. And we will be announcing our winners next Tuesday during the finals for premiere night. So make sure to get those entries in, and best of luck, everyone. But I think that will do it from us here on LAS Esports. Hell of a series, and I cannot wait for next week.
Congratulations once again, one final time, and we'll see you guys next week and tomorrow.
And tomorrow,
Well, I
well,
won't see you tomorrow.
Bartowski,
I guess I will see you tomorrow.
yeah,
I'll be on
we're-
the stream.
We're going to see Bartowski tomorrow. So, again, best of luck to you. How are you feeling
Thank
going
you.
up against the Sharks?
Oh, it's going to be an uphill battle, that's for sure. The Sharks have looked extremely dominant, but yeah, we're hoping that we're going to be able to bring something to the table. Best of 5 format means that anything's up for grabs. Can always be comebacks, can always be some workarounds. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to playing.
Well, you don't want to miss it. That's going to be 7 o'clock p.m. EST tomorrow night, right here and over on our second channel, LAS_Esports 2. We'll see you then. Hope you all have a wonderful night, and I hope you all enjoyed the wonderful show. There's been a lot of work and effort put in from a lot of people across the league here. So thank you once again to all those wonderful graphic designers, our other casters over on the other channel. It's awesome seeing how much growth we've got here and how much effort is going into it. So awesome stuff, but that'll do it from here. It's your boy Gurf signing out, and we'll see you again tomorrow night for the Premier Semifinals.
See you later.